Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Out of the Big Ten, it's the Maryland Terrapins taking on the ACC's Boston College Eagles. Happy holidays from Detroit. Great to have you with us, along with former collegiate and NFL linebacker Ray Bentley. I'm Mark Neely. Alex Cordry down on the field. We'll check in with her shortly. Ray, each of these teams had to win their final regular season game to become bowl eligible. But for two teams that have 6 wins, they both seem genuinely excited about the direction of their program.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of fun talking to him. The energy, DJ Durkin was just, you know, beside himself, all excited about what this team's done with the young kids that they have. And then Steve Addazio, we talked to him. He had me so pumped up. I was ready to play, and it was like he was getting his team ready to play in a national championship game. So this is a meaningful game for both these teams. They're going to get after it today.
That Boston College defense, so impressive. Harold Landry, we mentioned him at the top. Is he going to be the best player on the field today?
I think so. I mean, if what I've seen on film is any indication, this guy's unbelievable getting after the quarterback. He covers so much ground with his long strides. He's got long arms, and he plays with great technique. You see the numbers he's had this season, and I got to give Paul Pasqualoni, the defensive line coach, a lot of credit for getting the most out of Landry.
And Maryland quarterback Perry Hills, he makes his final collegiate start today, but I think Maryland fans are just happy, Ray, that he's healthy enough to start.
Well, it's good when he's healthy enough to start. You see, he's 6-1 in games that he starts and finishes. He's an excellent runner, but he got banged up doing so. The good news is they can turn him loose today. There's no tomorrow for Perry Hills. They don't have to worry about anything. So they're going to need him to run and be accurate in the quick game.
Well, the third member of our broadcast team, Alex Cordry, down on the field, has more on the senior, Perry Hills.
Hey there, Ray and Mark. Well, yeah, Perry Hills, he had right and left shoulder injuries throughout the season that sidelined him, but expect to see a fresh and healthy Hills today. The Terps quarterback told me that the layoff before their bowl game gave him the time he needed to rest and recover and be able to a chance to work with the training staff. And DJ Durkin said Hills as healthy as he's been all season long, so expect him to have a big bowl game today.
Alex, thanks so much. We'll look forward to hearing from you all afternoon. Before we get to kick, let's take a look at today's keys to the game, brought to you by the Franklin American Mortgage Company.
Well, for Maryland, they got to manufacture some offense one way or another, because this BC defense is outstanding. Then they got to tie the knot, non-offensive touchdowns. They got to score on defense or special teams. Boston College, they got to run wild today. They got to play hard in that running game and then bring the heat on the defensive side if they're going to win this contest.
Now, Boston College won the toss and deferred, so Maryland will receive. It's Jake Funk back deep for the Terps, along with DJ Moore. And Mike Knoll ready to kick it off for the Eagles. There's a 29% touchback rate this year, and we are underway from Ford Field in Detroit. From a couple yards deep, DJ Moore will take a knee. It'll come out to the 25 for the Terrapins. And the senior quarterback, Perry Hills.
Watching Perry Hills, he's an explosive runner, Mark. I mean, underrated in my opinion. Throws the quick game extremely well, accurate, and the deep game, when he can get his feet set, he can throw the ball down the field as well. And he's a senior. He knows what he's doing. He has command of this offense.
Out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, went to Central Catholic High School.
Corner blitz.
They fake the jet sweep. They do the jet sweep to DJ Moore. Comes to the near side. He gets across the 35. Keeps the feet moving all the way up near the 38-yard line before he's pushed out by Will Harris. And that's a first down of 13 yards. Take a look at our impact players.
Right, DJ Moore, we just saw him. Leads the team with 6 touchdowns. He's an explosive guy. And then Tyrell Pigram is the backup quarterback, and they'll bring him in to run the football, particularly in the red zone.
Ty Johnson gets the carry. He picks up about 1. So we see Maryland with some tempo there in offense, Ray, that will run a couple of different tempos.
Yeah, it's basically as fast as we can go, or the freeze look, and then, of course, they can slow it way down. But they like to go fast when they can. And this is the freeze, where they're going to look over at offensive coordinator Walt Bell, who I think is one of the best in the best in the business guys. He really made an impact on this Terrapin football team when he came in the offseason.
Second down and 9. And here's the play fake, and Hill's going to take a deep shot. And he overthrows the intended receiver, Teldrick Morgan. Will Harris all the coverage for the Eagles.
Don't know if that's an adrenaline overthrow from Hills or what it was, but he had a receiver wide open with a couple of steps, and really he should have flattened him out. Don't throw it too deep. Just lead him across the field. There was nobody over there to pick him up.
So it's 3rd and 9, and this is where Harold Landry can pin his ears back and come after the quarterback.
Yeah, this is his down. 3rd and longs. They get exotic with some of the things that they'll do. They'll move guys around. There's Landry right there.
Rush forward, swing out the pass to Johnson, and is spun around at about the 44-yard line by Connor Strahan, but about 3 yards short of the first down.
Strahan was faking a blitz on the opposite side, and he had coverage. He had a long way to go. He took off before the snap to get over there and get Johnson.
So they do get a first down, but now we'll punt. Here's Tyler Rouse back to receive the punt, averaging about 14 yards per punt return this year, a long of 53 yards.
Fair catch is not in his vocabulary. He loves to take chances, and a lot of times it pays off for him.
Left-footed punter Wade Lees. And what do you know?
Yeah,
there's
of course,
a fair catch.
The fair catch jinx.
For one of the few times this year at his own 17-yard line. So that'll bring out the Boston College offense. And their senior quarterback, actually 5th-year graduate student, a transfer from Kentucky, Patrick Tolles, who will also here make his final collegiate start today.
And you see Tolles, the 51% completion mark, that has been an issue with him now in their game against UConn that they won the second to last game of the year. He had 74%. They're going to need him up around that 70% mark today in their short passing game.
Makes the handoff to John Hilleman. Tolles rolling out. He fires, has a man wide open at the 30. And the tumbling catch that's made by Korab Adrizi. I hesitate because that's just his 2nd catch of the season all year for Adrizi. There's a flag at the snap. And Boston College with some tempo and no huddle.
We talked to Scott Leffler, the offensive coordinator, and where they're at in terms of putting that in, that part of it, because we have not seen it. I have not seen it on film. But with the extra preparation weeks that they have, nice little wrinkle.
There are 2 fouls on the defense, both offside in the neutral zone, number 90 and 92. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
So Roman Braglio and Chandler Burkett both lined up in the neutral zone. So the 5-yard penalty. Make it a first down and 5 for the Eagles. Tolles under center.
Good time for a play action pass here.
Adrizi, who had that catch 2 plays ago, is now in the backfield as the fullback. Fake the handoff, and it's dropped off the hands of Charlie Callanan.
All right, Callanan got hit between the 8 and the 3. I mean, this is a really good throw from Tolles. Both his throws so far have been really accurate. I mean, how do you drop that one? I don't know. That's a tough play for Callanan, but a good sign for the BC offense. They're getting guys open.
Callanan has 21 catches on the year, 4th most on their roster. Handoff running left and undercut is John Hilleman by Darnell Savage, and that's going to be a loss of a couple of yards.
Savage, the free safety, is unblocked in this deal, and he comes flying up. And that's one thing the safeties, both teams, tackle well, and they're going to have to.
Savage out of Newark, Delaware. His 57th tackle of the year, 3rd most in the Maryland defense. So it was 1st and 5, but 2 plays later, it's 3rd and 7. Tolles, quick strike. This one was hung on to for a moment, but then comes out incomplete. And once again, the intended receiver was Callanan. Rayvon Davis had the coverage.
And this is another one that Callanan should have caught. You see the blitz coming up the gut, and it's a nice little move inside. Ball hit him where you want it to. He just can't hang out of the football so far today. 2 drops in that drive.
Mike Knoll on the punt. And the lefty boots it away with Morgan. Did not fair catch and
He ducked, though.
ducked under at the 26. Maryland will have the ball for a second time when we come back to Detroit.
Here at Quick Lane, we're always ready to serve. Oil changes, tires, brakes, you name it. Evenings, weekends, no.
Maryland and Boston College each have one possession so far. Maryland takes over here at their own 27-yard line. Running back Ty Johnson starting this sequence on the sideline, but a very impressive player, averaging nearly 9 yards per carry. Very capable of the explosive play. Fake the handoff to Wes Brown. Hill's in trouble, and he's going to be sacked back at the 15 by Ray Smith. Well, they didn't know if Ray Smith would be playing. He's been injured part of this year due to concussive symptoms, but he's in there and has a sack.
And he benefits from Harold Landry because of the attention that they pay to him. You see Landry coming on the outside, drew a double team. So the inside move by Ray Smith was there, and he just wrestles Hills to the ground.
And Landry got a double team. He got held by Derek Hayward as well. Fighting his way forward across the 20.
This is not where this offense wants to be, Mark. Behind the chains. They've had a lot of trouble protecting the quarterback. And against a pass rushing outfit like Boston College, this is a recipe for disaster.
So Wes Brown, who had that last carry, comes out. Ty Johnson comes in on 3rd down and 16 from the 20.
I don't understand why Johnson doesn't get more carries. I mean, I'm watching these guys on film, and they rotate 3, 4, 5 backs through, and I'm like, keep number 6 in. He's doing good.
Hills on 3rd down and long. Good protection. Throws high and off the left hand of Levern Jacobs, who nearly came down with that in acrobatic fashion up near the 40.
Ty Johnson did a nice job in protection, allowing the time for Hills to throw the football down the field. Just a little bit outside with that one, a little high.
Wade Lees will come on to punt with Tyler Rouse and Michael Walker each back for Boston College.
I much prefer Rouse gets the football. And just 14 yards per return.
High short punt. Rouse from the 41 retreating and is wrapped up and tackled. Nice special teams play. Jacobs and Lane, we do have a flag on the play.
Pac-12 officiating crew today made the trip to the Midwest.
During the kick, holding 23 of the kicking team. 10 yards will be added to the end of the play. 1st down, Boston College. Timeout.
So they'll add that. And BC's actually going to begin on the Maryland side of the 50.
The Detroit Lions own and host this bowl, and they've done a wonderful job. Both teams commented on how it was just they've been treated so well and they had such a great time, and now they get to play football.
And of course the Lions will be taking on the Cowboys tonight here on ESPN on Monday Night Football.
People are excited about that one too.
So BC after the penalty on Maryland on the punt, again at the Maryland 49. John Hilliman brought down by Roman Braglio, gain of 5 on 1st down.
This is what Boston College is. They will pound the football at you over and over. 65% of the play calls are runs with this outfit. And they want to run it at you, hit you with play action, beat you with defense and special teams. Their offense plays to the defense and special teams.
Here's the Jets sweep. They get it to Jeff Smith. There is a flag down, but it's well defended by the Maryland defense anyway. Jalen Brooks running down Smith. And we'll see about the flag as well.
Yeah, the head linesman threw the flag, so that's either an illegal formation or someone lined up in the neutral zone, I would think.
But keep an eye on Jeff Smith today. He will play a variety of roles.
Number 90, the defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Well, that's the 2nd time Roman Braglio has done that. Last time he did it, though, he had company with Chandler Burkett.
They're going to send him to the sidelines and give him a remedial lineup course. He's like, what? Come on.
Braglio, a senior who's Owings Mills, Maryland. That's 10.5 career sacks. 2nd and short for the Eagles.
Waist down, they could take a shot here.
Charles will hand it off. Rouse has the first down up near the 36. Actually, that's John Hilleman who's come in.
This is Boston College football, Mark. You know, they will pound it at you and try to be physical. That's what they're known for. When you think Boston College, you think of big, tough offensive lines and then the defense and linebackers.
First down, Eagles from the 35-yard line of Maryland. Make the handoff to Hilleman. Time for Tolles now. Roll it out, looking downfield. He'll just take off with it and step out at about the 30 and pick up 5.
Great coverage down the field. Nowhere for Tolles to throw the football. So he had to scramble. And he's a big guy, 6'5", 253 pounds. You try to sack that guy, it's like tackling a tree.
Tolles, a 2-year starter at Kentucky, started 22 games in his 28 overall appearances. Here, his toss is low to Michael Walker and incomplete.
And he hurried it, and he being Tolles. His footwork went away a little bit. He didn't follow through straight to the target. That's one of the issues with Tolles. Every once in a while, he'll just totally lose his technique, and it drives coaches crazy. Because he can do it. I mean, he's got all the tools. He's got a big league arm.
This year he has started every game for Steve Addazio's Eagles. Eagles 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far today. On 3rd and 2, handoff. Hilleman the first down. Makes his way up to the 20. Arnell Savage and Jarrett Ross wrap him up.
And the power play. Pulled the guard around, leading up into the hole. Got the tight end up in there as well. You're going to see that looping around here and taking care of business.
Quickly back to the line. Another handoff. Hilleman bounces outside. Uses a stiff arm inside the 10 before he's bumped out of bounds by Alvin Hill.
Tempo from Boston College. They're going faster than we expected, and it's been an advantage for them thus far. They're rolling now.
Right back to the line from the 6. Hand off Hilleman straight ahead. Keeps pushing all the way to the goal line. Touchdown. Well, it's the Eagles offense instituting some tempo, and it's paid off in the game's first score.
And this is just a power play where you're bringing massive bodies to the point of attack. You see some really nice blocking, and then the push by Hilleman, but that's going to be called back, I believe. I think the knee went down before he crossed the line. And of course, they're looking at it upstairs. And you see the knee down and the ball right there. They're going to mark that at the, well, inside the 1-yard line.
Gary McNann is our replay official. His communicator is Matt Gilchrist. We had a nice conversation with those two gentlemen less than an hour ago. There should be plenty here to overturn the call on the field right.
Yeah, and no doubt you can see at this angle the elbow is short of the goal line. The ball's behind the elbow. He did not make it in, and then obviously the knee's down. They ended up in the end zone, but he was down before he got there. But you got to give credit to this offensive line. Lidstrom, Chris Lidstrom pulling around. Aaron Montiero getting a nice block. Eli Johnson up in there, and then center John Baker. They're controlling the line of scrimmage right now, giving Hilleman a lot of opportunities to push the pile.
It's a Boston College team that had to win their last 2 games of the regular season to become bowl eligible.
Does he get to go under the hood?
Use the NFL gear?
Why not? An NFL house, make the most of it.
So we should see this overturned.
After review, the runner's knee was down with the ball at the half-yard line. The ball will be placed at the half-yard line, 2nd down. The clock will start on the ready.
So they do overturn the call on the field. It will be a 2nd and goal from inside the 1.
If I were a betting man, I'd say that Steve Addazio is going to call the same exact play.
Steve Addazio in his 4th season. 7 wins each of his first 2 years. 3 last year, back up to 6, trying to make it a winning season with a win here today. And also try to give Boston College their first bowl win since 2007.
He inherited a 2-win football team in his gone to bowl games 3 out of his first 4 years. He didn't get that.
Tolles kept in, and he did not get in. He quickly was hit and dropped short of the goal line, so it will be 3rd and goal.
Give the credit to that Maryland defensive line. They're stacked up in there, shoulder to shoulder. Low man wins on the goal line, and then you have to have linebackers coming flying over the top. Excuse me, Mark. I think hand the ball off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's where I was going to lead you. They have Wolford as the fullback. Hilliman again in the backfield. Here's the toss to Hilliman. Turns it up. Lowers his shoulder to get it this time. He is in for sure. Touchdown, Boston College.
No doubt about that one. Hilliman takes the toss and runs over Alvin Hill at the goal line to get BC on the board. You see, there's nothing fancy about this. This is just student body right. And a nice cut back inside, and then the power to finish the run for John Hilliman.
So that run will go as Hilliman's 6th rushing touchdown of the season. And the point after is blocked. Live ball picked up. Burkett may have blocked it. It's returnable. That's Savage who's out of bounds at the 15. So the extra point by Knoll is blocked. So it stays 6-0, and already we see a special teams play a role in this game. Back in Detroit, Michigan for this quick lane ball. 6-0 Boston College leading Maryland. The reason it's not a 7-0 game is that it's deja vu all over again for Chandler Burkett. Right there, gets the PAT block. He also had one, Ray, against Rutgers in their regular season finale.
Right, 2 games in a row now. He's getting in there and batting away kicks. That's a great play that could have a big significance to this ball game.
Moore's going to bring it out this time from about 3 yards deep, and there goes DJ Moore. There is a flag. Moore to midfield, looks to come back, uses a stiff arm, the kicker. And let's see if it's coming back.
Oh, I'm going to go 99.999%. It's coming back. That flag right around the 28-yard line, just where DJ Moore broke open.
It's going to bring back what was a 69-yard kickoff return.
There are 2 fouls on the receiving team. Holding, number 34. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on number 30. That penalty is assessed half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, Capital One Bowl Mania continues Tuesday on ESPN. First at noon, it's the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl. Army taking on North Texas. Followed by the Military Bowl presented by Northrop Grumman, Temple and Wake Forest. And then Minnesota and Washington and the National Funding Holiday Bowl. And how about 10-15, Boise State and Baylor in the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl. Which one of those has your attention?
Well, I think Boise State Baylor is going to be a really interesting game. I did both of those teams throughout the course of the year. And I don't know, man, Baylor, the way they finished the season, not pretty. Boise very disappointed as well. Somebody's going to get after someone else in that one.
After the penalty was marked off, Maryland having to begin this drive at their own 11, and not much there for Ty Johnson. Connor Strahan there for the tackle.
Connor Strahan is an outstanding linebacker. This kid flies all over the place making plays. He's fun to watch, number 13.
He is their team leader in tackles. A couple today. He's up to 72 on the season. Fake the handoff and the pass behind the intended receiver, DeAndre Lane.
A little RPO there. The safety creeped up and joined the box, and that was wide open for Lane. If Hills was able to connect on that, that would have gone a long way.
There's Harold Landry.
It's Landry time, 3rd and long.
3rd and 9. Hills in trouble. And he's sacked back at the 5 by Zach Allen. A loss of 7, 5th sack of the year for Allen.
Zach Allen is just coming on a stunt, he's the post man, and then the other guy goes behind him. And what happens a lot of times is that post man on the stunt, they forget about him and try to get the other guy who's making the stunt, and that opened up wide for Zach Allen to swallow himself up a quarterback.
Michael Walker and Tyler Rouse each back deep for Boston College. Rouse right at midfield with Lees punting out of his own end zone. And the Aussies punt is high and short and taking a fair catch at the 42 by Rouse.
John Hilleman on that last drive, he was carrying the mail, fighting for tough yards inside. BC's got 27 rushing yards inside, 18 outside, and Hilleman has done the bulk of the work, including punching it in for the game's only score.
That was a 1-yard touchdown run for Hilleman, who had 6 carries on that particular drive for 36 yards, so averaged 6 a carry with that 1-yard TD. Well, on that last possession, they began at the 49 of Maryland. This time they began at the Maryland 42.
That's the BC mold. That's what they want to do, is win field position and have a shorter field for their offense.
Hilleman met in the backfield. He'll fall forward. That was Brett Kolka, number 96, the first to get to him.
I thought there was a hole outside, and Hilleman didn't see it. Basically ran into traffic rather than running daylight. That's the kind of runner he is. He's a straight ahead guy. You don't see a whole lot of shake and bake from John Hilleman. He just soon run you over.
Tolles now flushed out, and he is sacked. Back at the 46. Kingsley Opara and Brett Kolka there.
Yeah, Opara, playing this game, was injured a little bit but got back healthy, and you can see why they want him in there. He's a very large individual that can get after the passer. That was a coverage sack, though. There was nowhere to go with the football down the field. Patrick Tolles had plenty of time. Nobody came open. He ended up being the inside of a sandwich.
First sack for the Maryland defense. It had 33 in the regular season. After the loss of 4, it's 3rd and 13. 4 minutes to play, first quarter. Tolles, deep shot, double covered, and almost picked off. Intended receiver was Jeff Smith, and that was J.C. Jackson, number 7. Yeah, looked like both hands on it.
It almost looked like a volleyball block. Is he trying to catch this or what?
I think he's trying to come down with it.
I agree. I think he was trying to catch it, and there's a reason certain guys play defense. Because they can knock the ball down.
So a stand by the Maryland defense. Oregon, fair catch at the 11. Well, while we have a moment, let's check in with the studio and say hello to Adnan Virk. Actually, we'll keep it here.
Maybe next time, Adnan.
Yeah. Stay close. Well, Steve Addazio, I think we mentioned his 4th season, came from Temple. This year has Scott Loeffler as his offensive coordinator. Guys that were together at Florida as well as Temple.
Well, his defense is playing well so far. They've only allowed 6 total yards from this Maryland offense on 10 plays.
DJ Moore and Wes Brown in the backfield with Hills. Takes the handoff to Moore, and it's the carry for the quarterback Hills for a couple up to the 15. DeAndre Lane to stop.
That little unbalanced line, just trying to create a little room. And again, I think Hills, there are no limitations on what they're going to have him do today. Whatever it takes to win, they will run Perry Hills as often as needed.
Hills turned around, looked for Johnson, throws it high, incomplete. It's been lines on the coverage for Boston College.
It's tough for a quarterback rolling against the grain, so to speak, and then to make a precision throw. That was an out type throw, and when you make that throw, you want your feet set. You want to be able to drill in on it. It's difficult to make that pass on the run. Hills overthrew it.
Hills off to a 1-for-5 start through the air, just 5 yards passing. We're down at 7.
Might be offsides again right here. Let it go.
But immediately Hills wrapped up and brought down by Matt Milano, the senior out of Orlando, a loss of 8.
We talked to Jim Reed, the defensive coordinator for the Boston College Eagles, and they couldn't say enough great things about Matt Milano. One of the hardest workers on this football team, really a leader, and gives him everything he's got. The kid could play as well. Just got up in on that blitz and blew right past him.
Walker and Rouse back deep again, and once again Wade Lee's punting out of his own end zone. It's a little better punt off this time, and at midfield taken by Tyler Rouse, taken to about the 46.
Big field position again for the Eagles.
Well, later today on ESPN2, North Carolina State meets Vanderbilt in the Camping World Independence Bowl. 2 solid defenses matching up at Independence Stadium in Shreveport. That's at 5 Eastern on ESPN2, and also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Take a look at today's PlayStation View Player Spotlight on that Vandy team. Kyle Shermer.
Getting it done through the air the last couple of games.
Only 1 pick, those 64 pass attempts. But once again, great starting field position for Boston College from the 46. Hilliman cuts it back. He advances to about the 42. Isaiah Davis wraps him up after a first down gain of 4 yards.
And this is typical Boston College, grind them out type of football, and Hilliman fits that mold. He's not going to fancy dance anybody, but he will run you over.
Hilliman again breaks a tackle, uses a stiff arm, and looks like he'll have a first down up at the 36. Eventually stopped by Jermaine Carter Jr., impressive middle linebacker for Maryland.
It ain't exciting, but it's fun for me to watch a team play power football. 2 tight ends, a fullback in the ball game, loading up and just coming downhill, running the ISO. No fair dodging. We're going to cram it down your throat. And that's what Boston College is trying to do, and pretty good so far.
Well, where they spot him, it's a little bit short, so 3rd and less than a yard. And Boston College will use their first time out of the half, and we'll step aside for 30 seconds here in Detroit. Minute 28 left in this first quarter from Ford Field. The Quick Lane Bowl, Boston College leading 6-0. Here's a handoff, and Hilliman has been the workhorse and got knocked a few times in the backfield, but looks like he got it. Will be a little short again, perhaps. Let's see what the spot, and with that spot, he is short.
Yeah, they have to get just inside the 36, and they're just inside the 37, it looks to me. Actually, right at the 36, I think will get it to him. 4th down.
So they're going for it. 10 and 20 on 4th down this year, 50%.
I see that quarterback sneak again. They're not playing for it.
That's exactly what happens. And Tolles will have the first down. Needed about a half yard, and he gets close to 2 or 3. First down, BC.
I don't understand the way Maryland played that one. You know, when you got a quarterback sneak threat, you got to cover the center and both A gaps. You can't just give them one of those, and they did right there.
First down, Boston College. A touchdown run for John Hilliman, the only scoring so far, and the point after was blocked.
It'll be time for a play action pass here on first down. We haven't seen much of that yet from BC. Here we go.
Here's Tolles looking in the direction and completing it at the 10-yard line.
It's Tommy Sweeney, the big tight end, and I got to tell you, he is an up-and-comer. I really think he's going to be a name you're going to hear for a long time. He runs great routes. You saw the little stem at the top of that route. That created the separation. He's able to break away and be a big target for his quarterback, Patrick Tolles. Very good execution on that.
25th catch of the year for Sweeney, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Again, the Hilleman 1-yard touchdown run, the only scoring, and the point after was blocked. We played 1 quarter of the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl, and Boston College has the 6-0 lead over the Terrapins.
Up every moment.
I'm Adnan Burke back in our college football studio. Sports Center right now brought to you by Great Clips. Earlier today, the St. Petersburg Bowl, Nick Fitzgerald, 136 passing yards, 132 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He was great. And the critical play here is Dowd for the kick and Nelson Adams the block. With 5 seconds remaining, Mississippi State's first blocked field goal this season. They win at 17-16. Back to Mark Neely and Ray Bentley. Guys?
Adnan, thanks very much. So Miami of Ohio lost their first 6 games of the season, won 6 in a row, couldn't quite finish it off with a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah, but Chuck Martin did a great job of solidifying his position there and getting that team off of about a 3, 4, 5-year skid.
We begin the second quarter. And a carry for John Hilleman. What you need to know about the first quarter is this: 1 total yard for Maryland in the first quarter. And it's not like Boston College was a world beater, but 88, not bad, got a touchdown. But look at the sacks for their defense.
Right, and that's what has led them to the great field position. You look at where they're starting their drives. They've started their last 2 drives in Maryland territory. That helps the offense immensely.
They had a 2nd and goal from the Maryland 4. There you go, power. Handed off. Hilleman wanted to cut it outside, but instead off left tackle for about 2. Darnell Savage, Jesse Anabonum bring him down.
This offensive line for Boston College, after a rough year last year, they've gotten a lot better. You've got 4 underclassmen who start on this line, and they have improved throughout the season, and they're playing good ball today.
Hilleman comes out. Tyler Ross is in. Also Jeff Smith there at the top of your screen, lined up wide. Always got to keep an eye on him. Here he comes in motion, Smith. Tolles looking in his direction. Now looks back. And it's a wide open touchdown. He finds Tommy Sweeney for Sweeney's 3rd touchdown catch of the year.
The old tight end delay throwback on the goal line. A beautiful play. And what it does is it gives Boston College another 6 points. And here's your tight end right here. And he's going to block, get through the traffic, count to 3, and then go. And there is nobody home except for Tommy Sweeney.
Well, the point after on their first score was blocked by Chandler Burkett. Keep an eye on 92. There he is from Maryland. His point after for Mike Knoll. This one, good snap, good hold. It is up and through, and it's 13-0 BC. Early second quarter, Sweeney has a touchdown catch for the Eagles. And Boston College is out to a 13-0 lead in the Quick Lane Bowl.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Early in this second quarter, Boston College out to the 13-0 lead over Maryland.
This Maryland offense has to wake up. They got to do something. Now, we were told that they were going to go with Perry Hills pretty much the whole day, but they've got an exciting young freshman quarterback, Tyrell Pigram, who's done a nice job for him running the football more so than throwing it. But they might want to think about giving him a chance, because right now they're 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
They've punted all 4 possessions with 3 and outs their last 3 from about 3 yards deep. DJ Moore for the Terps. A flag is down. A couple of them under the 30 and 40 yard lines. Got the call on the flag from our
I think it's just one penalty. Both guys saw it is what I think happened, the way they moved the flags closer together.
Steve Strimling, our referee.
During the kick, personal foul, legal block below the waist, number 25 of the receiving team. Half the distance from the end of the run, first down.
Well, Maryland head coach DJ Durkin and Boston College head coach Steve Addazio are close friends because of their time together on the Gators coaching staff back in 2010. Urban Meyer, Florida head coach, when he kind of stepped aside for a while, Steve Addazio, who was his assistant, became the interim. And while he was there, he hired DJ Durkin as a Florida assistant coach. And Scott Loeffler, who's now the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, was there as well back in 2009 and 2010.
So those are some branches on a coaching tree, it looks like. Pretty good tree and some pretty good branches.
Both these teams trying to win a bowl game and give themselves a winning record. Here's Hills on first down. The pass caught at the 18 by Lieburn Jacobs. 7-yard pickup.
I like the play call. Just get something positive. Get yourself ahead of the chains. Now they got a chance here to get a drive going.
Second down and short, but when you have number 94 wrapping up Tedrick Morgan, Noah Merritt said, "You're going nowhere." A loss of 6.
Yeah, Merritt, the nose tackle, he just swims past the center. Actually, the guard, the right guard, Mike Mentor, pulled, and Noah Merritt filled the gap quickly. Somebody missed a down block to get the big guy. I don't know how you miss a guy that's that big.
So from 2nd and 2 to 3rd and 8, and the Terps 0 for 4 on 3rd down, and not had a first down since their first possession of the game. Hills with time, comes near side, caught at the 21, and that's right near the marker for Tedrick Morgan.
Let's see where he spots it. That's going to be the key. Looks like the official on the other side is giving him the first down.
Morgan thinks he has it, and the officials agree.
Yeah, the far side official actually is the one who spotted this. Good protection, and Hills stays in the pocket, throws a strike, and who is that close? I think he might have got a generous spot out of this. Not quite to the 11. They got him marked past the 12 here. Well, after 21, excuse me.
First 3rd down conversion today for the Terps, and again Hills running out of time. Hit as he tried to throw the ball, went forward. They play it. It's recovered by Truman Goodapple after Merritt knocked it out. And right now that's going as a fumble and a return to the 10.
And give Harold Landry an assist on this one. He's coming there right in front of your screen. Watch the counter move back inside. That forces Hills to move back and outside. And here comes Merritt making a play. This pass defense is outstanding. And it's not even pass defense, it's pass rush. Although you got to have coverage on the back end for these guys to do their thing. But they're getting in there so quick, it's like coverage is almost irrelevant.
We saw a 4th sack of the day. They had 39 sacks in the regular season. Let's take another look. I'm sure Maryland fans are saying, hey, his arm was coming forward. This is an incomplete pass, but that arm did not come forward. It got tied up.
It did. That arm got locked up big time. Actually, it's Tabalik who made the sack and the forced fumble.
So from what you see there, Ray, is the call on the field not only going to stand, but maybe probably be confirmed?
Oh, without a doubt in my mind. I don't think there's any question. Kavalek had a hold of it. That arm, it did not come forward. That was a forced fumble in my opinion. I don't think there's a whole lot to dispute on the looks we saw. This should be BC football right there at the 10-yard line.
Boston College and Maryland have played 11 previous times in history. Boston College has won 8 of those 11. The reason, because these schools were mates in the ACC for quite a while. And so Maryland left after 2013, went to the Big Ten. So the Terps in their 3rd season in the Big Ten.
Ruling on the field of a fumble is confirmed. First down, Boston College.
It is indeed confirmed.
Yeah, there was no doubt in my mind that arm was pinned big time by Kavalek. Kavalek, excuse me.
So 1st and goal, Boston College at the 10, and the Eagles trying to add on to a 13-0 lead. Just over 3 minutes into the 2nd quarter. Davon Jones is into the game and running back for the first time today. They fake the handoff to him, and Tolles bootleg. Now cuts it up and to the 6 before he's tackled by Jermaine Carter.
just a naked bootleg by Patrick Towles. They figured everybody was going to commit to the run, and why not? They've been running it a lot and effectively, and they thought they could maybe sneak him out to the edge, but the Maryland defense stayed home to thwart that try.
Davon Jones comes right back out. They bring John Hilliman back onto the field.
Hilliman's got the hot hand. You know what? Ride that horse. 13 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown to his credit so far.
Ray Barton, the fullback. Let's see if he gets it here. Hilliman does. Straight ahead. Hit hard just inside the 5.
Yeah, that was Jermaine Carter again making that tackle. Had 15 tackles and 2 sacks in their game against Rutgers, the one they needed to win to become bowl eligible, and he rose up big time. Honorable mention, all Big Ten linebacker for the last 2 years.
They beat Rutgers 31-13. It's a Maryland team that started the season 4-0. Lost 6 of their final 8. Won the regular season finale against Rutgers for win 6 and to become bowl eligible.
Carter wants the call. He's not getting the call from the sideline, and now they get the timeout.
So timeout Terps. They use their first of the half. We'll step aside with 10:41 to play in this first half.
You did something good that truly made a difference in America and in your community. You did something great that helped keep jobs right here and help support our communities.
And that won it for Boston College.
I got to play that game. It looks like an old guy game.
Football, bowling, and horseshoes combined? That's an interesting combination.
A little bowling. 'Tis the bowl season.
It's the full season. 3rd and goal. Boston College. Davon Jones now motions out. Low snap picked up by Towles. He's being chased and throws it away in the general vicinity of Jones, but lives for another down. But it will be 4th down.
Yeah, they were going to try and get to the edge with Towles, give him a run pass option, but when you don't get the snap secured, then it's over, and he just had to throw it out. They'll go for the field goal.
Mike Knoll comes on. Junior from the state of Ohio, 11 for 12 this year, a career long of 40 yards. Good snap. That's down and good. And Knoll's field goal makes it 16-0 Boston College. Look at our game summary. Look at the starting field position for Maryland inside their own 20, and for BC it's at the Maryland 46.
Yeah, and these 4 sacks, that last one led directly to the field goal, and the other ones thwarted drives and gave the Eagles tremendous field position, and they've been dominating this football game with their defense. It's amazing. It's 7 yards Maryland has been able to come up with.
Alex Cordery has more down on the field. Alex?
Well, Mark, the Terps don't have one of their most stable offensive linemen, Michael Dunn. He was a game-time decision. He's out today, though, with an undisclosed injury. But even so, he's been standing behind the offensive line, walking him through what he's seen on the field. You know, he came in 5 years ago as a walk-on, and now he's been a tremendous leader for the Terps.
Alex, thank you. And a huge loss today to not have Michael Dunn, a guy who, well, he's got a shot to make the NFL. A guy who's a preferred walk-on. Perhaps he'll get a chance as a free agent. Prove himself.
Michael Dunn with 48 career starts. I mean, he's been a stalwart at BC for the last 4 years. And I believe he'll get a chance. And, you know, he was going to go against Harold Landry today, and I know he hates not having that opportunity.
Oregon takes a knee, and it'll come out to the 25. Let's check in again with Adnan Virk.
All right, Mark Neely, thank you very much. SportsCenter right now brought to you by Great Clips as UConn firing coach Bob Diaco. He had the worst winning percentage, .297 in UConn history among coaches to coach at least 10 games. UConn has had 6 straight seasons, at least 7 losses, tied for the 4th longest active streak. Mark, back to you and Ray.
Adnan, thank you very much. Maryland beginning at their own 25, which for them is good news.
Got to figure something out. I think it's a mystery right now for Walt Bell and DJ Durkin as far as what to do to get this offense going.
Bills to throw on first down, complete to Morgan, who outruns one defender, a cutback at the 40. And maybe there's an answer there.
Yeah, get these receivers involved. They've got a really nice trio of receivers with DJ Moore, Teldrick Morgan, who just made that play, and Lee Burn Jacobs. They've got some weapons. They just got to find a way to get it out to these guys.
18-yard gain. Best offensive play of the day for the Terps. First down from outside their own 40, and
that's a loose ball. Live ball.
That was a backward pass. DJ Moore, even though he had to reach forward for it, the pass was behind.
Yeah, they were trying to get the double pass and hit the back out of the backfield. This guy right here, he's going to go deep, and they're looking for that double pass. You know, it sets up like a quick screen. That's a live ball. It's thrown backwards. So they went to a trick, and it didn't work out too well for him.
But you mentioned Walt Bell, who's the first-year offensive coordinator. He's a guy in his time at Arkansas State in the last few years. That's in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, he's one of the best young offensive minds in the game. He's used to, as he told us, playing with inferior personnel. So you got to come up with things like this.
There goes Ty Johnson into the end zone, touchdown, and a big boost for the Terps. Comes from their sophomore running back.
I'm wondering, they were negative 20 rush yards prior to that play, and they bring Ty Johnson in. He should be in there more often than not. He's just going to come and rip it up here, and the safety's going to come in on a bad angle, and that's why this thing goes to the house. You see the safety come in right there on the right, number 28, actually a linebacker, Milano, and he did not take a good angle, and that's what gave Ty Johnson the jump.
62-yard touchdown run for Johnson. They use the swing and gate here for the point after.
Gate ain't opening today.
Adam Green for the point after out of the hold of Caleb Rowe. Little issue with the snap, but a
great hold
by Caleb Rowe. Absolutely, and the point after is good for Green. Ray, this is a play Maryland badly needed.
They did. I mean, this might wake them up, get them going. They get their top running back, in my opinion, Ty Johnson, in the game. He goes 62 to the house.
Durkin, he's known as a head coach with tons of energy. He was firing up his sideline right after Johnson's touchdown. They needed that momentum here, guys.
You are not kidding, Alex. 75 yards on that last drive. 62 coming on the last run by Ty Johnson, who now has 10 plays of 40-plus yards this year, which shows you that he is explosive runner.
He's a home run guy, and I think he should be getting a lot more carries. Only 95 carries on the season. I think you got to find a way to get that kid at least up around 150 or more with his ability to bust it loose like that.
Miles Willis wisely lets it roll out of bounds for the penalty. This week's Monday Night Football matchup has big playoff implications. Lions-Cowboys tonight at 8:15 Eastern right here on ESPN. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's right after we wrap things up here in Detroit. Quick Lane Bowl also streaming live on Watch ESPN. There are, of course, Lions fans here. Ford Field, home of the Lions, and the front page of the Detroit Free Press today said we want one more win. That would get the Lions into the playoffs, but they would still, even if they beat the Cowboys tonight, have to beat Green Bay next week here on Sunday night to win the division.
Yeah, I grew up in Michigan. I've been a Lions fan my whole life. I've been saying that one. Just give us one.
Miles Willis.
He's giving him one.
Ankle tackled at the 33 by Jared Ross, who may have saved the touchdown. Here's Willis saying, hey, Johnson, my explosive play, here's one.
I can get it too. And great blocking, though. I mean, nobody touched him until he got tackled, you know, some 20-odd yards down the field. Outstanding up front by this BC offensive line.
31-yard run for Willis.
Counter.
Smith to the 28. That's Jeff Smith.
They'll bring Jeff Smith in as a quarterback and mostly to run with the football. He was a quarterback here as a freshman last year, started 3 games and then switched to receiver in the spring, but they still bring him in there and use his abilities to run the football, and he can throw.
And we stay in the Wildcat with Smith. He hangs on to it, trying to get to the edge and Runs out of bounds at the 28.
Smith is a burner. I mean, he's a legitimate 4-4 guy, is what Scott Loeffler, the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, told us. He said, you know, we got to get that ball in his hands at least a dozen times during the course of a game, because he's so explosive. He can take it to the house at any given time.
So now he's going to go line up at receiver. So they bring Patrick Towles back in at quarterback for 3rd down and 4. Eli Jones also in at the back spot. And here comes Smith in motion. Fake the jet sweep to him. Towles rolls out, looking in the direction of Walker, but now will take off himself, and with his legs will have the 1st down at the 20. 8-yard gallop for the quarterback, Patrick Towles.
Nice play. I like what they did here. First of all, they give you a little cheese. Jeff Smith running across on the motion look. And then they're going to run underneath with the submarine boot, where you see the back running behind the line of scrimmage. That took the defender and allowed Towles to use the running ability to move the chains.
Towles gives it to Walker. Nope. Who reverses it, and it's back to Towles. Touchdown.
Wow.
Walker to Smith to Towles.
Scott Loeffler dials up some razzle-dazzle here in the red zone. A little reverse pass back to the quarterback, who is eligible because he was in the shotgun. And away we go, Boston College. Everything's working their way. Great throw, boom. I mean, that's pretty easy. And Pat Towles was pretty excited about it, and so were the boys upstairs. One of them was.
Point after Fernald is through, and it's 23-7. Just Jeff Smith's 2nd pass completion of the season.
And that's a pretty good one. I love this play call down here in this area of the field. And then you get your senior quarterback in the end zone with a pass reception.
Emergency! Emergency!
With a 20-yard touchdown pass to quarterback Patrick Towles, 23-7, BC leading midway through this 2nd quarter. How did this come about, Ray?
Well, here's Michael Walker. He's going to come across in jet motion, take the ball, pitch it to Smith, who's going to come around here, and watch Patrick Towles just sneak around the edge, and nobody's going to see him. And nobody should. You know, when you design a defense, you don't put in anything to cover a quarterback for running out on a route. So great execution, outstanding timing of the call, and BC is about to run away with this thing. We're going to need another 62-yard run from Ty Johnson to get this thing back into a ball game here.
Kick by Mike Knoll, funking Morgan back deep, and Morgan from a couple yards deep brings it out for the Terps. With a 25, 30, 35, 40, right down the sideline across midfield before he's bumped out of bounds.
That helps. That's going to make this offense be able to open it up right off the get-go, returning a kick into their opponent's territory. That's a boost for an offense.
Nice return by Morgan. Sets him up with the starting field position at the 45 of Boston College.
Let's see if Maryland figured something out. You know, 3-play, 75-yard touchdown drive, their last possession. And they keep it sustained on offense here.
They do have Ty Johnson in the backfield here. Got a 62-yard touchdown run on their last possession. Hills, screen pass, the tunnel to Levern Jacobs. Spot him down at about the 34. 11-yard gain, 1st down.
I think Hills checked to that play and spread them out pretty good, and then he caught Boston College in a blitz. There were no linebackers over there, and that made that tunnel screen go.
There's Johnson straight ahead to just inside the 30. Gain of 4, tackled by Truman Goodapple and Kevin Kavalak.
See if Maryland wants to go with a little bit of tempo. Sometimes that'll shake you out of the doldrums.
Hills gives to Johnson, who finds a crease. Johnson high steps into the end zone, touchdown, and Maryland quick quickly responds, once again thanks to Ty Johnson.
And give an assist to Perry Hills. That's an outstanding read on the zone read. And the thing that made it so effective was the length of the ride. Watch how long he has this ball right here. Now here's the guy he's reading. That's the guy that has quarterback. So he says, all right, I'm going to keep the ball long enough so you can't get the running back, because they'll try to cat and mouse and get both of you. Outstanding execution on that offense. DJ Durkin with a little bit of a smile.
Ty Johnson, a 62-yard touchdown run on their previous possession. And then a 30-yard touchdown run there. And
they've been watching too much TV.
Yeah.
They tried to do the old jump pass that we saw the big boy do from the Chiefs last night.
That's right. So each team now has missed an opportunity with an extra point. This one, a little different fashion.
Yeah, and this is on number 30, who's got the ball, Kenneth Goins. He's got to wait a little bit and let his guy Avery Edwards get down the field a little bit. But DJ Durkin's having fun, and that was the thing, Mark, that I tried to capture at the top of the show today. When we talked to those guys, they were all, everybody, some people 6-6, oh, that's horrible. No, these guys are on the rise, both sides, and they keep it positive with the young players they have, and I love it. That's what this game's about.
And DJ Durkin in just his first year as the head coach, Steve Addazio in his fourth, but BC's really excited about where they're headed in the future, as well as Maryland is.
And DC is excited about a quarterback they have in the wings, Anthony Brown, a true freshman that they considered mightily to actually play this year, decided not to. They're looking forward to getting him out there, a dual threat kind of guy, so the future looks bright there. And Boston College also just got a couple of nice recruits here in December. They've had a nice Christmas. Got good, what I call program momentum. They're heading in the right direction. Both these teams are.
Junior Danny Sutton kicks off for the Terps. This one will be returnable from Miles Willis from the 6. Willis hit and dropped shy of the 25. Well, later today on ESPN2, North Carolina State meets Vanderbilt in the Camping World Independence Bowl. Two solid defenses matching up in this one at Independence Stadium in Shreveport. Today at 5 Eastern on ESPN2, and also streaming live on the ESPN app and Watch ESPN.
Let's see if Boston College can answer. They have to drive pretty much the length of the field, which they haven't had to do yet today.
So here's Tolles, who has a touchdown reception on the day now. BC from their own 24. This is Rouse. Makes his way forward to about the 30 for a gain of 6 on first down.
Good little cut by Rouse back inside. Now they're going tempo again. And right back to the same play, ball out.
And it's still loose.
And Rouse ends up back with it.
That was a very roundabout route for the football. It's a loss of 5.
Annabonum, Jesse Annabonum from Maryland, is the one who makes this play. Forces the fumble, comes off the edge, and now that ball is loose. And you see Jimmy Lowry, 74 for Boston College. He got beat on that block. He was trying to find the football. He couldn't get that either.
So DJ Durkin, the Terps head coach, he would have loved to turn over right there to give his team great field position. And now flag.
74 offense, 5-yard penalty. Goes down.
I think the right tackle, Jimmy Lowry's upset he didn't recover that football. That's the first penalty against Boston College today, that false start.
Got to give Steve Addazio a lot of credit for the discipline and the way he's handled this program. He came in off inherited a 2-win team. Won 7-7, then went 3-9 last year when they were down to their 4th-string quarterback, a walk-on, for the last half of the season. That was no indication of what he's got going on here.
Time for Lowry to throw. Hit as he throws, and as a result, it's high and over the head. Walker.
And Tolles, I think the hit is what made that ball go high. And he's got to get rid of that a little quicker, because that inside cut had been extended for quite a while.
Mike Knoll, junior punter.
Maryland maybe grab a little momentum here?
They have indeed, thanks to Johnson, and see if Morgan with another return can help out. This one will be limited to about a 3 or 4 yard return to the 47, but still pretty darn good field position for Maryland. We have a couple of touchdowns today. Ty Johnson.
I'm telling you, this is the guy they need to give the football to. Feed him. He's hungry. Look at him go. He just blew past the entire BC defense on the first touchdown. Then he does it again with a nice cutback right there. He sees the open space, hits his gas pedal, and it's over. I would feed that kid the ball. I'd give him 20 carries today.
Almost 100 yards here in the first half for Johnson. The rest of the team, as you see, 29 yards rushing. Hills with time, looking for more. It was all tied up, no flag. Well covered by Cameron Moore.
That's the first time Maryland's taken a deep shot since the first series of the ball game. And the one thing Patrick Towles loves to do is underthrow deep balls. It gives his guy a chance because he's looking back at the football. But great coverage and great position there, breaking that play up.
Terps stacked 2 receivers to each side on 2nd and 10. Ty Johnson is back in there, running back.
It's the same formation they hit that touchdown run with.
Hand off to Johnson. He's hit at the 48 by Connor Strahan for about a 5 or 6 yard gain.
See how Johnson switched sides there towards the end? The reason is they want to run that inside zone against a 3 technique, a defensive lineman who's on the outside shoulder of the guard instead of a shade nose or a 1 technique where he's on the inside shoulder. It just works out better for him. That's why they flip that back late so they can run it in the direction they want.
It sets up a 3rd down and 5. They're 1 of 5 on 3rd down. Did not convert their first 4. Converted their last one, and looks like they will convert here. Kenneth Goins.
Nice run by Goins up the gut. You know, he was a fullback last year, and when Walt Bell came in, said, sorry, Kent, we don't have any fullbacks. So they switched him to a tailback, and he's done a great job with it.
Hills handles the low snap. There is a flag. Jacobs dropped right near the line of scrimmage by Harold Landry and John Johnson.
Now, because they didn't stop the play, then I would think it's offsides.
Legal motion. Offense, number 1 and number 19. 5 yard penalty. First down.
Apparently Moore and Morgan were moving at the same time.
2 guys moving at the same time. And they were discussing it at length after the play, trying to determine which one of them shouldn't have been moving.
That's probably been the issue today for Maryland, not the illegal formation, but they just haven't gotten the success throwing the football down the field.
Yeah, and that you got to do both. You know, you got to mix things up and be effective in both areas. Usually, though, if you run the football well, that'll give you some passing opportunities.
Another low snap. Johnson, he's going to be tackled back in midfield, and that'll be a loss of 3 thanks to Truman Goodapple, number 97.
Well, when we talked to Jim Reed, defensive coordinator for BC, he couldn't say enough good things about Goodapple. I mean, he said this is as hard a working kid as you'll see anywhere, and he's one of the leaders on this squad, and just does an outstanding job, not only with those off the field things, but as a football player.
That was his 6th tackle for loss on the year, so 2nd and 18 from midfield. Another low snap. Hills having a rollout, fires a fastball to the 40, and that ball was caught by Jacobs, but did not come up with the completion.
Well, they got to get this snap right. We've seen it 2-3 times now where the snaps are low and Perry Hills can't make his reads because he's trying to get a handle on the football.
And this is a really good center, Brendan Moore. I know you've been impressed by his play on the field, but having a little issue with the low snaps right now.
They got an issue of a 3rd and really long. Too.
Yeah, that being 3rd and 18. Yep.
And that 3rd down conversion streak might come to an end.
Line to gain is the 33 of Boston College. Hills and picked off by Landry. Harold Landry.
How about that?
just snatched that one out of the air for his first pick of the season.
Look how long he is. I mean, his arms are so long. He's got such an incredible wingspan that he's in that tunnel screen area, and he just reaches and pulls it out of the air. Here he is right over here. And watch, he's coming upfield. He plays off the block, says, oh, wait, that's a football. And he grabs it, and away he goes. He looks like a power forward. I think he'd be a pretty good tight end after seeing that display of hand-eye coordination.
And Jacobs was the intended recipient of that screen pass, but Landry with those long arms just took it the other way.
He affects the game. He's not just a pass rusher. He's had a lot of tackles for loss, does an outstanding job in the run game, and you saw the athleticism on that play.
Second Maryland turnover of the game. They're going to take a shot for the end zone. Incomplete for Sweeney. After the turnover, they decided to go for the big play in the end zone.
Jermaine Carter Jr., the inside linebacker, he saw that one coming. He had tight end man-to-man, and he put the lockdown on Sweeney.
Carter, who's over 100 tackles this year, one of the key cogs in that defense for Maryland at the middle linebacker spot. So making his 25th consecutive start today. The handoff, bouncing it outside Hilleman. We saw a lot of Hilleman in the first quarter, not so much here in the second quarter, but he gets the carry here.
And he got to meet Jarrett Ross, the safety, who came up, and he had the alley on that, and as soon as it bounced out, he closed and made the hit on Hilleman. Now, this is a situation that nobody wants to be in, but in particular Boston College. Third and long situation here.
And you got the clock winding down, just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Deep drop. Here's the throw. Incomplete.
Once again, Jermaine Carter Jr. is all over Tommy Sweeney like a cheap suit. They blitzed. Maryland brought the blitz, and Carter matched up on Sweeney. They put him in motion to see who was going to have him in coverage. They found out it was Carter. They thought they liked that matchup. Not so much anymore, as Jermaine Carter makes the big play.
Last game for Maryland was the regular season finale against Rutgers. Carter had a career high 15 tackles in that game.
4th and 12, don't want to kick the field goal. Go for it.
Converted a 4th down today, 11 for 21 on 4th down on the year. Tolles better get rid of it. He does, and overshoots. Once again going for Sweeney. And they turn it over on downs with 1:50 to go. Before Maryland takes the field, let's check in with Adnan Virk.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Coming up on the Buick Halftime Report, a special ending in the St. Petersburg Bowl between Mississippi State and Miami. Also look ahead to the college football playoff semifinals. Deshaun Watson against the Ohio State secondary. And a third of the way through bowl season, who's been the most impressive player so far? Danny Cannell, Booger McFarland. Join me. We'll see you at the half. Mark?
And Dan, look forward to that. Just 1:50 to play here in the first half of the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl.
Well, Steve Addazio was upset that they didn't take advantage of that takeaway by Landry and put him in great field position.
Johnson squirts away from one defender and he's stopped at the 38 by John Johnson of Boston College.
And Ty Johnson accelerates like nobody. He's got a gas pedal. He just put a little move on there and then hit it and it was gone.
Give it to him again and trying to find the edge, but can't. The flag comes in there late.
Holding. Offense number 58. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
It's on the right tackle, Damian Prince.
Well, I can tell you the guy he didn't hold was Ty Schwab, because he came flying up in there, strung that thing out and lit it up. Inside linebacker. These linebackers for BC are very good, and they come from a long line of linebackers. That place is known for them.
You know, we were talking with Jim Reed, the defensive coordinator of Boston College, about Schwab, and he says Ty's a guy who will ask 150 questions at practice, but they're all good questions.
Yeah, as long as they're good questions, you can deal with that.
7 penalties in this first half against the Terps. Hills Incomplete at the 35 for Jacobs.
He wanted a flag
On Isaac Yiadom.
Yeah, Yiadom had good coverage. I mean, he was outside pressed and got all over him. Of course, DJ Durkin doesn't agree, but I mean, watching how he stops, stays with him. He did have a hand in there a little bit, but that's a no call. I have no problem with that. That's good defense.
So minute 3 to go, and a 3rd and 13 for Maryland. Hills down the sideline again for Jacobs, a leaping catch. Was he in? Got one official says no, he was out. And Jacobs slow getting up.
There's no force out or anything like that. That doesn't matter. You've got to have 1 foot in bounds in college football for that to be complete. Boy, that would look close. It was hard to see, but I think he might have tapped that eye. He might have dotted that thing. We've got some other angles to look at, and we have time with the injury, but that might think about taking a look at that upstairs.
It was really close to the sideline.
What's that right foot? I think it's in, but it's blocked from my vision a little bit from Yiadom. Here's another look. It's so hard to tell though because of the angle, but I think it's in. But is it?
Did he complete the catch too? As you look on the way down,
that's another factor. And then is it indisputable video evidence? And I don't know that we're going to have a look that you'd say, yeah, that's indisputable.
Well, I'm with you. It looks like he tapped it down inbounds, but it's not indisputable that he did.
Well, let's take a look at this one here. Just don't quite get the feet. I think the play will stand because you don't have a conclusive look. Stand as an incomplete. In my heart, I think he tapped that toe. I really
agree
do.
With it. Yep, I agree with you.
But that don't do anybody any good. No.
Jacobs has gotten to his feet.
And I'm sure the guys upstairs have had plenty of time to consider the issues.
Well, the officials are ready. So is Boston College, but
Maryland's like, what's going on?
Maryland's over on their own sideline.
They started the play clock on them. They're like, all right, we whistled at you twice. Now we're going.
And the play clock's rolling. It's 20. So with under a minute to play in the first half.
I think they drew up a fake in the dirt on the sideline, do you?
No. That would be gutsy. The Australian Wade Lees, who's a 28-year-old freshman.
Oldest freshman in FBS this year.
It's off his best punt of the day. And that hit a BC player. A line ball. Who has it?
It's like you got dual possession here.
And it's going to be Boston College football. They're fortunate that Rouse was able to jump on it.
Yeah, you know, when you're blocking a gunner and he's going after that returner, you know, you can't see where that guy is at times. But boy, that was really a questionable decision to come in and try to throw that block. Looks like it was Gabriel McClary who got up in there.
Gabriel McClary, whose dad Thomas McClary, along with Lionel Richie, were founding members of the group the Commodores.
Is that right?
In fact, his dad was co-writer of the song Brick House. I know, one of your favorites.
Yes. It's the song I like to be introduced to.
Yeah. The Eagles fortunate to have the football here. And pass to the sideline right near midfield is grabbed by Charlie Callanan, and that's a catch and a first down.
And that's a whale of a throw by Patrick Tolles, who Boston College said, no, we're not going to try to run this timeout. We're coming after you. And that's a strike. The timing was immaculate.
21-yard gain, first down at the 49 of Maryland, and the Eagles not content to.
I love that, though. I do. You know what? I play every second.
Maryland uses a timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds here in Detroit. 42 seconds left in this first half from the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit. And a first down for Boston College from the 49 of Maryland after the Terps use their second time out of the half.
Maryland looks like they're playing man. Fresh coverage.
Tolles down the sideline for Walker, caught, and he's gliding into the end zone. Michael Walker, touchdown.
Wow. Boston College in a 2-minute drill, lighten it up. Patrick Tolles with beautiful throws, moving this football down the field. There's a player,
yards.
Excuse me, Mark. The player down at the 5-yard line, Maryland player.
It's J.C. Jackson, one of the cornerbacks. So as we were talking about, Boston College was not content to take a couple of these and go to the locker room with the lead. They wanted to try to add on, and it just takes 2 plays. That last one, a 49-yard touchdown pass to Michael Walker, who's picked up his 4th touchdown reception of the year.
That was the second deep shot that Boston College has taken so far, and a lot of teams like to take 3, 4 a quarter. They don't take many, but they've hit on both of theirs today for a total of 70 yards and that touchdown. And what a great usage of the body by Michael Walker to get separation at the last second.
Point after for Mike Knoll. A Boston College team that came in averaging 19 points per game on the season have scored 30 in the first half here in Detroit.
And they go 70 yards, 2 plays, and only took them 7 seconds. And this is a great throw by Tolles, dropping it.
Well, there is a penalty against Boston College, and we're going to have to replay the
extra
point after try. An illegal formation against the Eagles. So it's still 29-13 technically.
Patrick Tolles is what, 6 of 14, but he's made them count. 2 touchdowns and 112 yards. In this last drive, he threw 2 dimes, and they just down the field like there was nothing.
And don't forget his touchdown reception.
Yeah. He won't.
Oh!
Shanky.
And he missed it. So it stays 29-13. And the point afters have been an issue really on both sides. So the penalty cost
Dazio not happy about that missed kick. Now here's a look at that throw. He just drops this thing there, a little hand fight going on, but that's putting it in a basket 30-40 yards down the field. And you know what? He looked it off too. I mean, he did everything perfect, including the celebration.
Patrick Tolles playing in his final collegiate game. A guy who's from Fort Thomas, Kentucky, always dreamed of playing in Kentucky, was the starter there for a couple of years. Got his degree.
He took a lot of heat. You know, Kentucky finished 5 and 7 back-to-back seasons with him as the starter, and he felt like he had to get away from that. Is honestly why he left and transferred for his 5th year here to go to Boston College.
Yeah, his family tied to the state of Kentucky. In fact, his grandfather, Jim Bunning, was a Major League Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher, and as you mentioned, was in the U.S. Senate from Kentucky. And Senator Bunning, no longer in the Senate, but is still around. Glad to say, 85 years old, going strong. Swift picked up at 15. Morgan about the 28 with 30 seconds just under that to play in the first half, and a flag comes out.
Offside, kicking team number 39. 5 yards added to the end of the run. First down, Maryland.
And Dan Vert, Booger McFarland, and Danny Cannell just around the corner with the Buick halftime report.
Well, it only took Boston College 7 seconds to score, so if we can do the math, we got time for 4 more touchdowns here in this half. And a second to spare.
It's pretty complicated math for a former linebacker.
I was working on that one for a while.
Now Perry Hills.
If they'll go quietly into the night, or if they want to take a shot.
Give it to Johnson and see if he can bust one, but he's a guy with an X on his chest right now, and a hard hit the 31. Morgan there trying to give him some room with a big block on the edge.
I want to see that. I love big blocks. Watch for number 19 on the edge at the top of the screen. A little crack back action. Look out. There you go.
That was Cameron Moore, who was the recipient of that hard hit from Morgan, but that's going to be the final play of this first half. Boston College will receive the second half kickoff, and they lead at 29-13 at the break. Now let's get you to the studio with Adnan Booger and Danny for the Buick halftime. Welcome back to the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. We're just about ready to start the second half from Ford Field in Detroit. Boston College out of the ACC leading the Big Ten's Maryland Terrapins 29-13. Happy holidays from Ford Field in Detroit. Along with Ray Bentley, I'm Mark Neely. Ray, that first half, Boston College kind of got the offense going. I think some Eagle fans are saying, where's that been all year?
Yeah,
and
right.
Patrick Tolles had a really nice first half.
That 2-minute drill at the end was outstanding, but Patrick Tolles was the story for this Boston College offense. Unless you want to talk about the big 5 guys up front who have done well. But here they go, get on the board with a throwback pass, perfectly executed to Sweeney. And then he's going to get himself a little throwback as well as he takes the snap, runs a little wheel route to the house. And then that last minute drive where he dropped that perfect pass in for the touchdown. And that's how you do it. If you're looking for a celebration, that's the one I like right there.
Nice numbers for Tolles in that first half. As you look at the team numbers, you'll notice penalties. Maryland was 7. They turned the ball over twice. The Boston College defense had 4 sacks, and starting field position was a big story, heavily in favor of BC.
Yeah, those sacks really kept Maryland backed up into their own end of the field and gave BC outstanding field position for their drives. So that's a big part of it.
And Boston College will receive to start the second half. Willis back deep, and Danny Sutton kicks off. Willis chases it 8 yards into the end zone and takes a knee. A couple of TD passes for Patrick Tolles in that first half, and the touchdown reception as well.
Yeah, and you know, you look at 6 for 14, and that's not great, but he had at least 2 drops by Callanan that I can recall. So I think he's been very accurate with the football. He's taken good care of it, and he's made some big plays.
I know we're just starting the second half here, Ray, but if you're the Maryland defense, this is already an important part of the game right here.
Yeah, you got to set the tone for the second half. If you have any thoughts about winning this ball game, you got to get this team to punt a football or take it away here and get things rolling.
Going to hand it off to John Hilleman to the 31. Picks up 6. Tackled by Isaiah Davis.
They're going to keep pounding Hilleman. I mean, that's what got them a little success early on. It established the physical nature of the way they're playing this football game. And they're going to keep coming downhill with Hilleman.
He's on pace for about a 30-carry game. You have Idrisi in as the fullback. Give it back to Hilleman. Will fall forward and tumble to the 32 or 3 to stop for Alvin Hill.
Look like they're working that left side of the offensive line behind Eli Johnson, a true freshman left guard, and Montiero, a sophomore over there. They're going to be good for years to come. The center Baker's a junior. The other guard, Chris Lidstrom's a sophomore. The only senior up front is Jimmy Lowry.
And Eli Johnson, the freshman for BC. He's actually from the state of Maryland, went to DeMatha Catholic High School.
Got a handful of guys out there.
3rd and 2, low and incomplete for Jeff Smith, and it's 4th down. And the Maryland defense, it's what they were hoping for.
Tolles shaking his head at himself. I think he overthrew that one, and that's why it ended up low and hard, and it's really difficult to catch.
Eldrick Morgan had a couple of returns for 68 yards in that first half, but a really good boot here. Chases him all the way back to the 13. He retreats inside the 10 and is tackled back near the 5. And again, that starting field position has been a negative for Maryland, but
Great
that right there was created by the punt, exactly, by Mike Knoll. Well, when Maryland did get things going offensively in that first half, a lot of that was due to Ty Johnson.
Yeah, you look at it, averaging over 10 yards a carry here, actually over 11, almost 12, and he needs more carries. But the two that he popped, it was just a foot race. He got himself a seam, and he might be the fastest sprinter out on this field because there was nobody with BC's defense that could catch him. He hit it.
2 touchdown runs for Johnson. One is 62 yards for their first score, and the last one of 30 yards. Oh, Hill's trying to hand off. The ball's loose, and it's near the goal line. Who has it? And if Boston College has it, this may be a score.
On the goal line, that's a touchdown.
Touchdown, Eagles. Hills won't let go of it, but
still trying to hold on to it. Right there, 94, just blows up in there. Noah Merritt, he blows the play up, and then Kavalek falls on it in the end zone. But that move by Noah Merritt to get a man that's 327 pounds and move that quickly around another one is mind-boggling.
Well, that look from the goal line, Johnson had a chance to pick it up for Maryland. I'm not sure the ball was across the goal line initially in that scrum, and I think that's what they're going to look at here.
Well, I talked about needing a knot in the beginning of the game, but it was Maryland who needed the knot, and it's BC who looks like they might have that non-offensive touchdown. And you know, Noah Merritt was just shot out of a cannon, and nobody blocked him, which is, you know, that's fun when you're playing defense.
You know, watch this. He's not really sure who has the football, so it's like, you know, I'll just tackle you both.
That's the old joke, right? Just tackle them all and let the ref figure out who has the football.
Johnson trying to pick it up. It rolls towards the goal line. You see Hills kind of push at it, and it may have gone back on the other side of the goal line. But
well, while they're fighting for it, it's a late whistle. Okay, so that ball can move on the ground while they're still scrummaging for it.
Well, even the worst case scenario here for BC is not bad because they're going to have the touchdown or a first and goal from distance inside the 1.
Now, Kavalek wants it to be a touchdown. I can tell you that.
Kavalek is playing in his final game. He's a senior.
After review, the ruling of touchdown stands.
There you go. They moved it along the ground into the end zone, and Kavalek gets his score, and Noah Merritt gets the assist with the sack and forced fumble. And I'll tell you who else gets a big assist is Paul Pasqualoni, the defensive line coach for Boston College. When I turned on the film and watched these guys, I was blown away. And they are that good, and they are way ahead.
Look, anyone who thinks you got to make it
from his days at Syracuse, which I thought he got ejected out of there a little early, but nonetheless, he's done a great job with this Boston College defensive line. And this is just the defensive ends for him this season. And that's a lot of dudes making a lot of plays from a great coach.
Morgan from a yard deep. A spin at the 12. Still rolling outside the 20, tackled at the 21-yard line.
You know, one of the things I was talking about, Mark, is when I cut the film on, the thing that jumps out immediately, especially if you like defense like I do, is the way their defensive line competes. Number one, they give everything they have every down. But then they have such great technique. They use their hands to escape as well as anybody, and they read keys. They make a lot of their own calls. Coach Pasqualoni has given them the keys to the kingdom. You see something, then go ahead and go for it, and that gives you buy-in, and that gives you great success.
Hills on the play fake. There's a man open at the 37-yard line. That's DJ Moore. Had a first down, a gain of 15.
Not bad protection there, and that's what they're going to have, especially trailing like they are. Maryland's going to have to put this ball up in the air. Of course, that's feeding time for this Eagle defense.
Second catch of the game for Moore, who's now caught a pass in 21 consecutive games. Hills got it. Forward to the end zone. That's Morgan. Touchdown. Wow. You know,
I don't know if Will Harris got hurt, Mark, or what, but he pulled up at the end.
That looked strange, and I hesitated. And Morgan was able to just waltz on into the end zone, but Maryland gets a quick score to respond to the score they gave up to the other side.
That's what they needed. And this is just a straight shot. I mean, he's going to go deep, and I'll throw it as far as I can. But the problem is you can see the little hitch in the get-along for Will Harris. He's not running normal right there. He's limping a little bit.
Adam Green for the point after. Well, technically it's back to a two-score game. A 16-point lead for Boston College, and still very early in this third quarter.
The holiday should bring...
Here in Detroit, for the record, Maryland bested Boston College, bagging 21,000 pounds of potatoes, bettering BC's mark of 17,000 pounds of potatoes bagged for the food bank.
So we had some bowling and then some tatering.
Yes, there's been quite a bit of competition between the two schools prior to taking the football field here.
I like it, and they're doing good in the community, getting involved, so good for them.
Miles Willis from the 4, banked out hard about the 22-yard line. Well, coming up tonight after Monday Night Football at Sports Center at night with Scott Van Pelt. He'll have a complete post-game wrap-up and finish up the day the SVP way. Plus his one big thing, bad beats, and the best thing he saw today. Tonight on ESPN after Lions Cowboys, and also streaming live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. SVP, who is a Maryland grad, is probably not real happy with what's going on right now here in Detroit.
He's pulling for a big-time comeback, and they got to start with their defense. Try and force a turnover here, which BC's been very good taking care of the football.
Give it to Hilleman. Trying to stretch it out.
It's interesting, Mark. One of the things I thought was whoever was able to run the ball between the tackles, because both of these teams like to run the edge. I thought that would be a big thing in this ball game. Well, BC has run it in between the tackles for 101 yards and outside for only 20, and Maryland has run it for 112 between the tackles and only 12 yards outside. So I guess you never know.
Going against the trends.
Well, you know, and that's the thing. They saw on film what I saw, and so you switch it up, especially when you have 3 weeks to prepare.
Hilleman again to the 25-yard line, so pick up 4 or 5, but he lost a couple previous play.
Racking up some carries. That was his 19th of the day. Most he's had this season is 27 carries, so they will feed him.
Maryland showing some pressure. Tolles rolling out, feeling that pressure, and a sack back at the 14-yard line by Jermaine Carter.
Yeah, Carter came on the blitz, and he got there, and then Chandler Burkett, 92, got there as well. And tell you what, Tolles had nowhere to go with this. You can see this thing's going to open up quick on a little stunt. They looped around, and that stunt forced Tolles to the outside right into the arms of Jermaine Carter.
6th sack of the year for Carter. And it forces Mike Knoll to punt from just outside his own goal line. Morgan going to let that bounce. And it'll take a BC roll and be down at the 35-yard line. Well, Jermaine Carter closed out the regular season very well against Rutgers on November 26th. A couple of sacks.
And 15 tackles in this ball game, 2 sacks in this amazing forced fumble recovery. That ball was caught, and Carter said, "No, you don't. That's my football." He just ripped it out of his hands. I mean, that's an amazing play.
And had 15 tackles in that game, and Maryland won to become bowl eligible.
And the coaches, you know, when we talked to him, he's the leader of this defense. Andy Boo, the defensive coordinator, couldn't say enough nice things about him.
Break the handoff to Goins, and Hills on first down. A leaping catch by DJ Moore, and a first down up near the 47.
And DJ Moore is a guy I think they need to target a little bit more often. Get him the football and get it in his hands and let him be the playmaker that he is. Only 2 catches and only 2 targets for DJ Moore. Take it back, 3 for 3 now.
Hills heaves it, going in the direction of Jacobs, who makes the adjustment in the catch, and he's headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Maryland. 52 yards, and Maryland bouncing right back, getting themselves back in this game.
Another deep shot, connection, and Hills underthrew it a little bit. And I just think that helps your receiver. 100% of overthrown deep balls are incomplete.
Yes.
I've done a study on that, and that's the case. You got to give your guy a chance. And boy, does Hills do that with this throw. Gets it up in the air. It's a little bit behind, but the defender was totally lost. And that's Mehdi Al-Atrak, and he did not see the football, couldn't find the football. And that happens so often.
Jacobs' second touchdown catch of the year.
You can see, I mean, this ball's underthrown. He's got to slow up to get it, but the defender, Atrak, is not, he can't see the football. Advantage offense, and then of course afterwards Leburn says, I'll just go to the house, thank you.
Well, Maryland scored 13 points in the first half. They've scored 14 in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter.
They're all long plays. I mean, you look at 62, 30, 63, and that 52-yarder. Hit from long distance. They're having a hard time sustaining a drive, but they can hit you with the one shot. And that's the explosiveness of this football team that DJ Durkin is nursing along so that they can compete with the big boys in the Big Ten. And they're right in that mid-tier level. And they got a chance to get better. I believe they will. I love the energy that DJ Durkin brings to the situation.
Both these teams missed bowl season last year. Both went 2 years ago. Maryland's trying to win a bowl game for the first time since 2010's Military Bowl against East Carolina. Boston College looking for their first bowl win since the 07 Champs Sports Bowl in Orlando. Let's check in with the studio and Adnan Virk.
All right, Mark, Ray, thank you very much. The Royal Caribbean Studio update. Washington State quarterback junior Luke Falk will not enter the NFL draft early. This from ESPN's Kyle Bonagura. The decision to return for his senior was expected, but Falk, the number 4 ranked draft eligible quarterback in the country, according to Mel Kiper Jr., was viewed as a possible early entry candidate. He'll be taking place in his bowl game tomorrow at 7 o'clock as part of our quadruple header. And coming up just minutes away on ESPN2, Matt Day's Todd McShay loves him. NC State Vanderbilt. It's coming up on ESPN2. Back to you, Mark.
And then thank you very much. We did have a flag on the kick.
Yeah, Max Richardson, backup linebacker, hit a guy while he was on the ground. In the new era of football that we play where safety becomes paramount, that's a no-no. Who knew? Back in my day, you knocked him down, they told you to jump on him and keep him there.
Times have changed.
Apparently.
So because of the penalty, they're going to begin from their own 12-yard line. Hilliman. We're just a yard or two. Brought down by Jalen Brooks, junior linebacker.
Barry Hills, I don't know what got into him at halftime, but whatever it was, feed him some more because he's been outstanding here in the second half.
What may have gotten into Perry Hills is he thought to himself and said, hey, I've got one more half of college football left in my career. Patrick Tolles, the quarterback for BC, can say the same thing.
I think the play calling helps too. They are in a situation where he has to perform. Being behind like they are, they got to throw the football.
And Tolles connects with Callanan for a first down up to the 30.
Nice throw by Tolles. He saw where the defender was coming from and basically threw Callanan open by making that throw move him away from that defender coming in. That's a heck of a throw by Tolles.
And a 17-yard gain. First down just across the 30 for the Eagles. Send Sweeney in motion. Take the handoff to Hilliman. Tolles rolling out. And he's going to be sacked back at the 30 by Alvin Hill.
Hill came on a corner blitz for the second consecutive play, and this time it worked out for him. He was able to run Tolles down from the backside. That's another thing. This Terrapin defense under Andy Booth, the defensive coordinator, they've got to turn it loose. They've got to force turnovers. They've got to try and make plays, do something. Jeff Smith's in at quarterback for us.
Smith going to run with it to the 33 for just a couple. Tackled by Azubuike Ukandu.
Maybe Scott Leffler got bored of giving it to Hilliman on first down and running the power play. So he decided to go to the next best option. And that's Jeff Smith at that quarterback Wildcat deal.
Smith, you see at the bottom of your screen. Lined up back at the wide receiver spot, and Tolles back in. Tolles looking for Callanan again, and with a defender right there, still comes up with the football and a catch just shy of the 40. That was Rayvon Davis covering for Maryland.
I don't like that play because you're not, it's 3rd and 8, and that's a 6-yard route. So I want to rethink that one.
And the Maryland sideline feeling some momentum going their way.
You got to stop. The way their offense is playing, hey, there's plenty of time left.
Roll angling it towards the near side. Morgan takes the fair catch at the 26-yard line. Hey, we're only just a little bit past midway through this 3rd quarter. The scoring is picked up, and it's a 36-27 lead for Boston College.
What are you doing?
Mario across at downtown Detroit. 7:01 to play in the 3rd quarter of the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl. 36-27 Boston College. Maryland, though, takes over, and Hill's being chased as throws it away. Boston College complaining that he wasn't out of the tackle box, but he was, so it's not intentional grounding. And speaking of Perry Hills, Alex has more about Hills. Alex?
Well, down here, Perry Hills has just been cool, calm, and collected. He's been staying pretty even-keeled. DJ Moore says he always looks to the positive, and Ty Johnson said whatever's going on, he wants to lead the pack. So he's been doing that just now in the second half.
Alex thinks he's trying to dig him out of a pretty sizable hole, and gotten it down to a 36-27 score. Here's Johnson, who weaves his way to the 32. Yeah, he didn't have a lot there, but it's positive yardage. And the numbers for Hills right at 50%.
And he's 66% on the season. So that's not a great game for Hills. However, he's been great in this second half.
That 66% completion percentage been tops in the Big Ten. There is a Boston College player down, Noah Merritt.
Merritt's had a great game. Outstanding get off. He had the forced fumble that led to the Kovalik defensive touchdown, the knot. Also had another sack earlier, did Merritt.
6 foot, 277-pound junior. Going to help to his feet.
Call bogus on the 277. I think he's a little bit more than that.
Think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Hills, by the way, 4 of 5 here in the second half for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Been a different guy in this half.
He has, and he's got better protection, and I think that's a very important part of it. He's been able to set his feet and throw the ball down the field and instead of being on his back or running for his life.
Third down and 5 for the Terps. 2 of 8 on third down today.
Landry over the center.
Here comes Landry. Hills sacked. Back at the 29 by Wyatt Ray. But Landry, as you were watching, Ray, had a big push to help out.
Yeah, I mean, he swam the center, Brendan Moore, and that forced Hills to step up into the pocket, right into the waiting arms of another BC defender, Wyatt Ray. That's what they're counting on, is that penetration. Either Harold Landry's going to get there, or he's going to force that quarterback to move to where someone else can get there.
Wade Lee's punts. It's a pretty good boot off and the fair catch. Taken just shy of the 30 by Rouse. Pressure has been a big story of this ball game. The quarterback pressure.
Yeah, and Boston College, I mean, that's their Huckleberry. That's their deal. That's what they do. They get after quarterbacks and they abuse them and mistreat them and knock them all over the place. And here's the touchdown that they got on defense. And that Merritt caused that fumble. And this defensive line, and the whole defense had played extremely well, but they've given up a few big plays. Well, 4 big plays, and that's really how Maryland's still in this thing.
Just happy that you worked the word Huckleberry into the telecast today.
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
Here's Tolles on first down. He's going to take off. And using his own feet will gain about 10. First down up to the 40.
Did a little serpentine at the end of that run. He couldn't make his mind up. Oh. Watch him go with the little weave route here. Should I throw it? Should I run it? Block him? No. Watch him inside, outside. Okay. Oh, first down. Got to get it all.
Showing some moves, huh?
Yeah.
First down BC from their own 41. It's a carry for John Hilleman, who's been the workhorse for them today on the ground.
He really has, and I like the term workhorse, and I think if you were to say that to John Hilleman, he would appreciate that, because that's what he's been. Nothing flashy. You know, I've talked about him. He's not going to make a lot of guys miss, but he is going to run you over, and he's going to run straight at you, and he's going to do it all day long.
Miles Willis comes in as the back. Hilleman gets a rest. Tolles finds his man wide open. That's Walker, who had a touchdown earlier, and he's stopped but has a first down at the 45 of Maryland. That's Darnell Savage with the tackle.
And just a little quick crossing route where Walker runs to the out, and both defenders went with the other receiver, and that left him wide open in the flat to move the chains.
Boston College right up to the line.
This is the area where they'll open it up a little bit, whether it be a trick play or throwing the ball on a first down. More comfortable when you get into the opponent's territory. But
more offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Jimmy Lowry, the right tackle, moved too early.
Yeah. Not going to be happy with himself. That's the second time today they've gotten Lowry on that.
In his final collegiate game, he's a graduate transfer, got his business degree from Eastern Illinois University in his first and only season with BC here, and he started every game.
Pretty impressive, you know, coming from a
FCS school.
Yep.
Which is known for
going up a notch.
Tony Romo, who played quarterback at Eastern Illinois.
Will he play tonight, though?
That's an interesting question. We can find out on Monday Night Football. Watching Jeff Smith with his moves. To the 45 of Maryland, tackled by Jalen Brooks.
That was half a Houdini right there. I mean, he was blocked in by 3 different guys, and somehow he was able to escape and at least get a yard out of the play.
Quick snap, Tolles, Chase will just fire it towards the seats.
Boy, that was a busted play. Not sure exactly what was going on, but Tolles wasn't on the same page with the rest of the guys. And so he wings it out of bounds. Bring up that third down. personnel change, almost a big line change as they bring the receivers in.
Boston College 4 of 13 on third down. See what Tolles has done on third down today.
Great.
Nope. Tolles dropped right near the line of scrimmage by Chandler Burkett. Fourth down.
And Burkett is the spy on this one. He's just going to sit back and let it happen, and the quarterback tries to escape. Big 92 is back here, and he's just going to wait it. Actually, he popped back from the line, excuse me. But he was the spy, so he's not rushing the quarterback. He's waiting for the quarterback to come to him, and that's exactly what Tolles did.
Mike Knoll just able to get the punt away. And the short punt, fair caught at the 19 by Morgan. Well, Friday at 8 Eastern on ESPN, it's the Capital One Orange Bowl. Jim Harbaugh and 6th-ranked Michigan take on number 11 Florida State. So be on the lookout for Jabril Peppers and Dalvin Cook. They're set to go at it in the Capital One Orange Bowl, which will also stream live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Look at the Harbaugh tree. David Shaw there on the left, who was the offensive coordinator with him 2007 to 10. Willie Taggart, you see there just to the left.
Yeah, Willie's back here.
Yep, he's now the head coach at Oregon. DJ Durkin,
Coach Durkin,
Michigan defensive coordinator back in 15 for Jim Harbaugh. We're taking the job in College Park.
Pretty good tree.
Well, this is the guy who's been carrying the mail as far as the explosive plays. Johnson, a 16-yard gain.
Yeah, tack another 16 on for Johnson. 11 carries, 127 yards.
Out to Jacobs, pulled down right near the sideline at the 35 by John Johnson. This game was 6-0 Boston College at the end of one quarter. It was 29-13 BC at the half. A lot of scoring in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter, and it's a 36-27 game. Just over 2 minutes left in the third. Hills retreats all the way back to the 20, and then will chuck it to the sideline.
Throw it to the coach. And again, the pressure from this BC defensive front making it very difficult for Hills to throw the ball down the field. I heard people wanting a holding call, and I don't know that I saw anything that warranted that, but Hills had to throw it or eat it.
Maryland has not done all that well on third down today. 2 of 9, and it's 3rd and 10. So we get ready to see Harold Landry.
See what kind of mayhem they got in store for this 3rd and long. Looks like he's in his normal left end position right down here.
Here he comes, and Hills is taken off to run with it and has the first down. Well, there's one way to avoid that pressure off the edge from Landry, and a first down run at 19 yards for Hills.
Yeah, this is a great play call. This, you know, what do you do to people that are getting after your quarterback? You run screens and draws. You make those guys think twice about getting upfield so fast. And they finally went to it, and it turned out well. Hills made a nice run.
Hills, deep shot, and too far for Morgan.
To me, that's another throw where you want to flatten the receiver out. He's running deep to that post, and he's got a guy over top of him. So you throw it out in front of him, make him run laterally across the field to get to the football. That's where the open space is, instead of throwing it over the top.
It was almost an instant replay of a similar pass in the first half.
I think I made the same point.
Well, it was valid on both occasions, and the flag comes out.
5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Against the Terps.
Looks like
Damian Prince, right tackle.
Who is them young, budding offensive linemen.
Sophomore started every game this year for DJ Durkin.
Right, he's got a true freshman next to him, and then a sophomore at center. The future is bright, I'm telling you, at both of these schools. And people want to say, oh, these bowl games don't matter. It matters to these guys. Let me tell you, they can't wait for next year. They can't wait to get out here today and get after each other and keep improving and building their programs.
Movement
False start.
again.
75 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And that one on the freshman you were talking about, Terrence Davis, the right guard.
So the whole left side of the line letting them down a little bit here right now. But look at, I just love the way Coach Durkin deals with things. Rather than be a yeller and a screamer and get in guys' face, those guys know when they make mistakes. And so he'll give a little smile. Yeah, come on, we got to do better than that. And he'll get serious when it's time to. But I love that demeanor. I could play for a guy like that.
Hills hitting it, stood up by John Johnson at the 45 and pushed back. Johnson, a senior, one of the leaders of that defense. Yeah, just never comes out of the game, according to the defensive coordinator, Jim Reed.
Yeah, 6 career interceptions for him. He also won the Jay McGillis Memorial Scholarship Award, which is a coveted honor at Boston College. And he wore number 31 in the last home game as part of that deal.
This is not Johnson's last game. He's a senior, but he's going to play in the Senior Bowl this year after the end of the season. And Hills sacked back at the 35-yard line by Zach Allen, his second sack of the day.
And that was just a bull rush. And Hills had to get going, had to throw this football, because here's your bull rush right here. You just run him right over. Pick him up and take him back to the quarterback and dump him in his lap. And that's exactly what Zach Allen did to Derek Hayward on that play. But again, I'm going to put half of that on Perry Hills. He got to throw the football.
Rouse back to receive the Wade Lee's punt, that is. And he makes the fair catch dangerously. Yeah. Rouse does at 26.
He's got no fear whatsoever. I love the way he plays the game.
37-yard punt for Lee's with no return. Well, we're here at Ford Field in Detroit, home of the Lions, and Detroit's on Monday Night Football tonight, taking on the Cowboys in Arlington, Texas. And Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's coming up after we are finished here on ESPN, leading you to Monday Night Football.
Yeah, Matt Stafford heading home to Texas, where he grew up and played high school football at the same high school as Bobby Lane, who was the last quarterback to win a championship for the Lions in 1957.
Highland Park High School, a gain of 2, first down.
As an addendum to that, we'll tell you about the curse Bobby Lane put on these Lions.
Well, this third quarter started with a bang and ended with another one. Headed to the fourth quarter of the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl in Boston. I don't think that's an eagle atop his head.
Half goose, half eagle. I called it a geagle. The geagle guy.
Well, as we begin the fourth quarter, Boston College a second down and 8, and in their own 29-yard line. Low snap, but it's handed off. And here's Willis. Miles Willis. All the way down near the 20-yard line of Maryland, pushed out by Jalen Brooks.
Watch the Maryland defense get so far upfield that they kind of take themselves out of it, and then a nice cut back by Willis, and then it's just him and the open green grasses of this field.
So big play, a run of 43 yards. First play of the fourth quarter for Boston College.
Willis is a nice change of pace guy. They bring him in, and then everything happens a little bit quicker with him back there. Way different look than John Hilliman.
Tolles to the end zone, and a diving attempt by Callanan comes up short.
That's probably the toughest pass to throw. That 7 route, the corner route, when you go deeper on it like that, that is a difficult throw. That's the one a lot of guys get measured by. You can't make that when you can't play on Sunday. That's a pretty good average.
Yeah, I would say so. 37-yard average on the 2 carries.
I'd give him the ball a few more times, maybe.
I don't think anybody would argue with you on the BC side. Hilliman back in there now, and they give the ball to John Hilliman. Candu with the tackle. Alex has more down on the field below on the speedy Miles Willis.
Guys, I'm pretty sure nobody has more fun down here than Miles Willis. He's been all smiles this entire game. You can tell everyone really feeds off of his energy down here. He's constantly hitting guys on the helmet and saying, let's go, let's go.
He is a bundle of energy.
That's what the game is all about, man, is getting yourself jacked up and then bringing along some other guys with you and having the time of your life out here. That's why you play the game.
The slant is caught by Smith. A relatively short gain. He's immediately wrapped up by freshman cornerback Tino Ellis.
Looking at about a 38-yarder from here.
Mike Knoll, who has hit from 22 yards today back in the second quarter.
And Knoll wasn't the starting kicker at the beginning of the season. Colton Lichenberg was, and he had some struggles, and Knoll stepped in and took care of his business, and then he took over the punting duties, and he kicks everything for him.
That one's going to go wide right. And Boston College comes up empty, and Maryland continues to hang in this football game early in the fourth. It's still a 9-point game.
I think it's going to be real exciting to have the Pistons back downtown, and as much as we all love the Joe Louis Arena here in Hockeytown, I think it's going to be pretty cool to have a new house.
Well, here's Maryland. They take over their own 22. Just under 13 minutes to play. They're down by 9. Johnson to the edge. Down the sideline, walking the tightrope to midfield and cut back. Ty Johnson again. Finally brought down from behind at the 15 by John Johnson. And another explosive play from Ty Johnson.
I don't know how he stayed in bounds. Tight roping along that sideline, the far sideline. Here's the great cut to get out of the reach of Landry. Then he wins the race to the edge, tight ropes, and then makes a couple guys miss, and he's still alive, changing directions. And then he has the smarts to cover up the football, feeling a guy coming from behind him. That was outstanding. They're going to look and see if he did step out.
Right now it stands as a 61-yard run. Let's watch.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was close there.
I don't think the heel hit on the.
I think you're right, though.
The ruby red slippers.
Look at that cutback. Oh,
there
right
he
there,
touched out of bounds. Yeah, it was. So he won't get that last 8-10 yards or whatever he got on it. I think he's safe on that first one because just the toe touched the ground. But on that cut right there, boom. I mean, that's pretty cut and dried for me. That's indisputable video evidence in my mind.
Yep, absolutely. But here's a Maryland team. They've turned it over 3 times today. Boston College has not turned it over in this game. We talked about Maryland playing without starting left tackle Michael Dunn. They also have played today without Shane Cockrell, their starting weak side linebacker, who was ruled ineligible prior to the game. No other explanation given by the school. Lorenzo Harrison, one of their running backs who's been suspended for a while. There was talk he may be able to come back. He's here, but that's not the case. The suspension continues. He's not playing today. But with the play from Ty Johnson, they've hung around in this game. Just when it looks like there have been a couple of times today, Ray, when Boston College was going to put the foot down and end this thing.
Johnson's been amazing. Right there, that's the 49-yard line is where they're going to. Is that the 49 or is that the 29? I think it might be the 29-yard line where they're going to put him at.
After the review, the runner stepped out of bounds on the Boston College 49-yard line on the far hash mark. It will be 1st and 10 at that point. Please reset the game clock to 12 minutes and 50 seconds, please.
That's a little bit of a downer for Maryland to have that much yardage come off of it, but still some momentum coming their way thanks to the play of Ty Johnson. So it turns into a 29-yard gain instead.
Still a nice little pop for him, no doubt. And moving this football into BC territory.
So from 61 yards down to 29, but still a first down for Maryland at the BC 49. Give it to Johnson. That time he's met by a wall and will lose a yard thanks to Connor Strahan. Alex has more. Alex?
Well, Perry Hill says the biggest difference this year when it comes to Ty Johnson is that he's just been more patient. He's seeing things. He's making his reads faster. And when he makes one guy miss, he's off to the races, as we saw.
And he doesn't lose many races.
That's for sure. His fifth 100-plus yard game of the season. He's got 13 totes for a $154 right now.
Hill slings it out somehow. Goins brought it in with one hand, but then he's tackled at midfield by Truman Goodapple. That will still lose a yard.
Still the pressure from this BC front. They bring a blitz this time, and it's the linebacker coming through, Strahan, who, I mean, nobody blocked him. And that's always a fun thing for a linebacker. Nobody's going to block me. Let's go get one. But they're worried about blocking that guy, Harold Landry, and I don't blame him.
Maryland came in converting 35% of their third downs on the year. Today, just 3 of 11, and facing a 3rd and 11 here. They swing it out to Johnson in space. Gets some blocking on the edge. Johnson will fall just a little short.
Close enough, though, that they can go for it. I think this is a 4-down territory situation. If it's a yard or less to make that first down, I think they're going to go for it, and they are. I asked DJ Durkin if he was a gambler, and he says, dude, I'm whatever I got to be to get it done. He says, one thing I will say is I'm very aggressive. That's good. That's the answer I was looking for.
Going forward on 4th and less than a yard. Little problem with the snap. Hills shovels to Goins, and he's dropped short of the first down. Wow, what a crazy play. It's coming back the other way. The ball came out.
It's still going, I think. There's an official running around like this is a real deal.
Ray Smith into the end zone, touchdown. What a bizarre play. What happened at the end?
I don't know how the ball exchanged hands and what happened. We're going to take another look at this. Find out what happened with Goins in the football. All right, here we go. Hills couldn't get the snap. 2 guys go over the top of him. He pitches it out to Goins, who is down, and then he leaves the ball there, and that whistle should have blown, and this one's coming back.
Yeah,
that's not a touchdown. I feel bad for the big fella, Ray Smith, humping it down the field, but it doesn't matter because Goins was down.
But all this, it looks like Hills is going to be sacked. Then he gets rid of it. Here's Goins, and you're thinking, hey, he's going to run for the first down. And then Isaac Yiadom comes across with great speed and drops him short of the first down.
Yeah, and you can see that he still has possession of the football. The knee is down. This ball is going to come back.
But it will be Boston College ball.
Yes, because it was a 4th down, and they stopped him on that turnover on downs. But how do you not pick up a football that's laying there? I mean, that's what they tell you to do on defense. So great job by Ray Smith. But not going to get anything for it.
It's been a fairly busy day for our replay official, Gary McNana, and his communicator, Matt Gilchrist.
Yeah. Well, this play was so crazy. I'm going to cut him some slack on missing this call and being down because so much was going on. And Ray Smith, he sold it until about the 20. And he
Ray
pulled
Smith
off.
is a 6'1", 292-pound sophomore from the San Diego area, Carlsbad, California. And
a speedster.
I'm sure he's dreamed of that moment.
Oh, yeah. Who hasn't?
And he's like, hey, there's a football. I haven't heard a whistle. I'm going to pick this thing up and run.
Pretty good knee bend there to get down, scoop it up. But again, that knee is down, and the ball is still in the possession of Kenneth Goins. There's no doubt about that. So this one will come back, and Ray Smith take that touchdown right off the board. But he's only a sophomore, so he'll have more chances.
But it will be Boston College ball, we presume, at their own 41, with the touchdown coming off the board.
He was busting it for a minute there. I bet that's as fast as Ray Smith has ever moved in his life, at least on his own power.
After review, the runner was down prior to the fumble on the 41-yard line. It will be Boston College ball there, 1st and 10. Please put the clock at 10 minutes and 39 seconds.
Well, which I know Maryland is not happy, nor is Ray Smith, that he didn't get the touchdown. But from the Maryland perspective, a little sigh of relief, because that could have been not a game clinching, but pretty close to a touchdown. And now it's all the way back to the Boston College 41. And you're still in this thing if you're the Terps.
Right, but you got to play some defense now. And they've done really well. I mean, they've held, other than the initial drive here in the second half, they've shut Boston College out.
They have Miles Willis in it back.
This is a good place to take a shot yourself after all that excitement.
Kept by Tolles, who will run for a couple of yards to the 43. Stopped by Jermaine Carter. Now the Bowl Cup Challenge, the upcoming Big Ten. This is ACC Bowl games. You have the New Era Pinstripe Bowl. Pitt Northwestern coming up Wednesday, 2 Eastern on ESPN, and the Capital One Orange Bowl, Michigan Florida State, Friday at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Aggressive Bowl Cup Challenge. I like those things. I like to see how conferences stack up against each other in the postseason. I always pull for my MAC teams.
Over Central Michigan linebacker Ray Bentley. Tolles in a crowd.
In the phone booth doing spins.
Tackle back at the 39 for a loss of 4, sacked by Ukandu.
Tolles he just had nowhere to go. He was bottled up mostly by his own guys when he tried to escape. But Maryland now with 5 sacks. They're getting some good pressure on Tolles. 4 of those 5 sacks coming in the second half here.
So 3rd and long for the Eagles. 3rd and 11. Clock running, under 9.5 minutes to go. 4th quarter from Detroit. In motion, Michael Walker. Deep drop by Tolles. Throws deflected. Picked off. Down the sideline, the Terps. Savage. And a turnover, the first of the game for Boston College. And now Maryland set up in great field position after the first pick of the year for Darnell Savage.
And Darnell Savage is the beneficiary of a batted pass, because this looked like it was going to be an easy completion. He had his man open. He was waiting for the crossing route, and somehow that thing got tipped. I mean, he was looking for Michael Walker, and Annabonum got the hand up, knocked it in the air, and Savage takes it for the Terps. That's how you play team defense right there. The old tip drill, getting after it, and all of a sudden things have changed here real quick like.
First BC turnover. I mentioned earlier Maryland had turned it over 3 times. Here they are down 9. The first down at the 17 of the Eagles. Johnson only a yard or so.
Johnson's going to lead the game.
Hills fakes the handoff to Wes Brown. Throws. It's caught inside the 5 and knocked out of bounds hard at the 2 is Brown by John Johnson.
This is a very good football play, and people should do it more often. Throw to the guy you just faked the run to. But the key is you got to have enough protection for him to get out. And they held up front and allowed Hills the time to find Wes Brown on that wheel route.
1st and goal, Terps from the 2.
Goins in at fullback here. Leads the way.
Give it to Brown. Flag comes in. Gain of about 1 to the 1.
And that's going to be a hold.
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. We play first down.
On the center, Brendan Moore. And that could be a backbreaker.
Right. And Brendan Moore had a good game. You know, I'm watching this outfit on film, and I'm like, this kid is their best offensive lineman by far. And they love to pull the center. They do so many things with him. He's so quick laterally. And what he'll like to do is snap it and get his arms on that guy, that next guy, and whether it be left or right. And that time he wrapped him up. So back him up.
Back to the 12.
That's not all bad. You get a little more room to maneuver.
Got the playoff just in time, and Ty Johnson wrapped up short of the 10. Pick up a 2. That was Truman Goodapple who put his arms around Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson maneuvered right into a good apple. That ain't what you think it is.
Truman Goodapple out of Harrison, Ohio.
This defensive line, you know, we've talked a lot about the ends, and rightly so. But the inside guys, Ray Smith, Goodapple, Merritt, I mean, they've played extremely well today, too.
Willis fakes the handoff. Hills sacked. That's Landry. Gets his first sack of the game, but that's number 7 on the day for BC, and for Landry is FBS leading 16th of the year.
Yeah, and you had to figure he's going to get one eventually, and he's just relentless. He's going to come off this side, and basically it's a little play action. He checked it out, he stayed home, and then reheated. You got to heat back up when things start happening, and that's what Landry did.
His 16 sacks, the most in a single season in BC school history. He also has 7 forced fumbles this year to lead the nation. Now Hills again, chased by Landry. A flag comes out, and he steps out of bounds at the 12.
And there was a holding call, I believe, on this play, as Landry looked like he got yanked.
Holding, offense number 58. 10 yards for the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
It's on the right tackle, Damian Prince.
Here's Harold Landry right here. And he's going to come in side with a little twist stunt, and then he's going to chase Hills out, but he got grabbed there by Moore, and that's the penalty they're going to call. I don't know.
I didn't see a lot there, did you?
Didn't look too bad to me, to be honest.
Landry lobbied for it and got the call.
Well, you know what? When you have a reputation as a pass rusher like that, they got to hold you. They hold you every play, right? At least that's your story.
Well, it was 1st and goal from the 2. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 27, and Hills pressured again and sacked. Wow. Back at the 37, but a flag comes down. There may have been a face mask.
Yeah.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 11.
Wow.
Half the distance to the previous spot. By rule, automatic 1st down.
And that's the big part of it, the automatic 1st down. I know DJ Durkin's upset, but his team has a little new life on this drive now.
Right. Here you see Hills nowhere to go. And he tries to get outside of Zach Allen, and Allen, it looked like it wasn't Allen, it was the next man in. It was Strahan who got the face mask, I think.
So it is a 1st down after the personal foul penalty.
Did Coach Durkin not see the flag, or what was he so irate about?
The only thing I could think of is that he thought there was a little excessive punishment on his quarterback at the end.
Sure. Understandable.
But it is a 1st down. Maryland from just inside the 14. Make the jet sweep to Morgan. Tried to set up the screen pass, but it's batted down by, guess who? Harold Landry.
That's another underrated part of the pass rush game for a defensive line, is getting your hands up and swatting passes from the line of scrimmage. And that's exactly what Landry's able to do. Get in that throwing lane. Okay, I can't get home, but I'm going to get my hands up. And the other thing he did, which is outstanding, is he kept his feet on the ground. So many times you see guys jump up in the air, and then the quarterback will just jump around him. He kept his feet on the ground. He's just well schooled. I go back to Coach Pasqualoni and giving him the credit for this.
Hills batted and almost picked off. And Landry again gets a mid on that. And BC nearly came away with it.
That's 2 thus far, Shooter.
Yes.
There he is. You see him. He's not really heating things up. He's just watching. That's his responsibility. You know, when I coached in arena football, that was a call. You call it mirror, where you try and mirror the quarterback, get in that throwing lane, and swat it down. That was the perfect mirror technique there by Harold Landry.
Looked like Ray Smith, who almost picked it off.
Ray Smith wants another one.
Yeah, he wants that touchdown back. Give it to DJ Moore. Still going. Lost the football. It looked like at the end, perhaps, but they're going to mark him down at the 1. And he did hang on to it, and he took a pretty big hit at the finish of that run.
DJ Moore is one of the most explosive players they have, and that's why they got him in the backfield. He hasn't had his touches today. They'd like to get him a dozen touches, and you see why right there. He's an explosive player, but did that ball come out at the end? That was hard to see, but I don't think so.
That's John Johnson, who's being attended to. And while they work on Johnson, we'll step aside with under 5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter.
Emergency!
Including some coaches and administrators, families got in some skating time. Campus Barney's Park here in downtown Detroit.
A little warm for that today.
It is. It's warm. It's been raining outside part of the day, but
it's be in the mid-50s. Not a bad deal this time of year.
Maryland's still trying to take advantage of Boston College's first turnover of the game. Had it 1st and goal from the 2, and after a penalty and personal foul, now have a 1st and goal from the 1, and this is the 8th play of this drive. Hills shovel pass and hit just shy of the end zone. I think was Hayward, the tight end.
Yeah, he caught that shovel pass and then ran into a wall. Derek Hayward with the carry, but he ran into a wall of Boston College Eagles up front and bounced back off of it. He's not used to carrying the football. He didn't expect that.
Did get a yard, so it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Lost it.
That's the 2nd time Hills has dropped or fumbled a snap in this drive from under center.
And Boston College has it.
Unreal.
What a huge turnover there. Man, oh man, that has to be frustrating for DJ Durkin and the Terps. They were on the doorstep.
They're still fighting for the ball in a pile down there. They're not letting go. Well, here it is. You see the snap. It comes flying out to his right.
And he had it initially.
He had it between his legs and then lost it. And it looks like Matt Milano just digging in there to get it. Look at Milano's legs just chopping, trying to still get a grip and push it in there further.
Possession at that point, it's dead. 1st down, Boston College.
Well, there you go.
Well, Maryland on the doorstep with a touchdown there, making this just a 2-point game, and instead they're still down 9 with 4:02 to play. Boston College will take over at their own 1 when we come back.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals, Saturday on ESPN.
They said that turnover, but for what we saw on the replays, Ray, I don't know, there's really nothing here that could help overturn this.
No, I don't know what you could overturn or what you could possibly see with this massive pile of bodies of guys, you know, digging for the football, and it was Matt Milano who ended up with it for Boston College. He came around the backside, hopped on that pile right
After
there.
review, the ruling of fumble recovery by Boston College stands.
Yeah, there's no way you can confirm or any. I mean, that's just a pile of bodies. But a great play by Milano digging in there and getting that football, and another shoot yourself in the foot deal for DJ Durkin's guys.
Costly turnover, their fourth turnover of the game.
And the second time they fumbled a center quarterback exchange on that drive.
Well, just over 4 minutes to go. Boston College with the ball, a 9-point lead, but their own 2 is where they're spotted. Carried out of the end zone. Todd Hilleman. A little reminder that immediately following the game, you can tune into ESPN3 for the post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One.
This is Boston College. They're in their 4-minute offense now with 3:35 left to play. They want to move the chains and eat up that clock and take one home.
Holloman again straight ahead. All right, if you're Maryland, at what point do you start using these 3 timeouts?
Well, I prefer to use them earlier. I would use one right now.
That's indeed what they're going to do.
That's a good decision. You can never put time back on that clock, so do them early.
So the Terps use their first timeout and stop it with 3:19 to go in Detroit. Away from their first bowl win in 9 years when quarterback Matt Ryan led them to a 24-21 win over Michigan State in the 2007 Champs Sports Bowl in Orlando. To win this, they'd love to convert a 3rd and 7. The Maryland just burned their first time out of the half. Holloman stopped at the 7, well short, and
the ball came out.
Maryland saying the ball came out.
You've got a seesaw turnover battle here of late.
No sign yet from the officials. Boy, if this goes Maryland's way, all of a sudden this game changes on a dime.
Right. It's a lot more interesting.
And wow, it is Maryland football. The recovery by Ucandu.
Let's see what happens here. It's just an inside power play by Hilleman, and they're ripping at the football, which is what you're coached to do in these situations. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I did not see it come out.
I think it came out early, right?
Yeah,
in there.
It started to move in his hands, and that first hand came up and swatted it. But I never saw it. There it is. Yep. It finally came out right down there, and that's where Ucandy
Previous
jumped
plays
on.
under review.
Well, I think your analysis of how do you overturn when there's a mass of bodies there is going to apply again here, Ray.
Yeah,
how can you overturn the call on the field here?
Haven't we done this? I could not see specifically when the ball came out.
If this call stands, we haven't seen anything that would overturn it.
No, and you know, if they stop forward progress, well, you'll get a whistle, and so everything will be over. That never happened, and you see right there's the ball,
and he's reaching for it.
Yep, he lost it, and he was reaching for it, and here goes Ucandy right here. He sees the prize and jumps on it, and it looked to me like the ball was out before he was down. You just don't see when it came out specifically. And because of that, the call on the field is Maryland ball. I don't see how that changes.
If it stands, it'll be 1st and goal Maryland from the BC 7. And it would be Boston College's second turnover their last couple of possessions.
Check it out again. You see this first hand that comes in. Actually, that's Ucandy right there that slaps at the ball initially, and then right there it looks like that's when he turned his shoulders a little bit. That looks like when Hilleman lost it.
After review, it has been confirmed that the runner did fumble the ball, recovered by Maryland. It's a first down.
Well, they actually confirmed it.
They were able to confirm that. It doesn't really matter a whole lot because the call is what it is, and now all of a sudden, as you said, Mark, different ball game.
Yes.
Turned on a dime.
You know, there's been a handful of times in this game, Ray, where you thought Boston College was just another play or two away from finishing this game off.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to do it. And here's Maryland, 1st and goal from the 5.
They had their foot raised, ready to stomp on them, stomp them out. Maryland stays alive.
Hills to the end zone. Morgan did not complete the catch. Incomplete.
That was a really nice throw, but great defense at the end. Hills gets enough air on it so that his guy will have a shot. Goes up, but just a great job of taking his hands, John Johnson, and getting them between the receiver's hands. That's what they teach you. If you can't get the ball yourself, then slide your hand between the receiver's hands and get that thing out of there, and that's what John Johnson did.
Morgan had it for a fraction of a second, but it wasn't possession for a catch. Now they go to the far side. That is caught, but out of bounds by Lee-Burn Jacobs.
And Jacobs, he had it, but you're right, that he ended up out of bounds. That's a tough play, because, I mean, this is a really nice thrown ball again. His guy's got it. The foot comes down, and he's out of bounds on the white, clearly.
It's Isaac Yiadom on the coverage, so now it's 3rd and goal. It's a 9-point game, so Maryland knows they need 2 scores to win this game. With 3:03 to go, they have 2 timeouts.
Well, yeah, conceivably, they could kick a field goal here to get that part of the equation done.
Batted down.
Another one.
Ray Smith set themselves a nice second half here.
3rd swat of the day for this defensive line.
So you got to take the points here, don't you?
Yeah, you kick your field goal. I don't think there's any question about it. And then you understand you have to get a touchdown to win this ball game, at least at this point. But that's just another great example of the awareness of this defensive line. Because the big boy Ray Smith was nowhere close to the quarterback, but yet he affected the play by keeping himself in it and following his coaching from Coach Pasqualoni.
22-yard attempt, Adam Green, and the Terps need that to make it a 1-score game and get it. With 2:55 to go, it's 36-30. Well, coming up this Saturday, the college football playoff semifinals are on ESPN. First at 3 Eastern, number 4 Washington meets top-ranked Alabama, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta. Then at 7, 3rd-ranked Ohio State, and number 2 Clemson in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl out in the Arizona desert. Both games streamed live as well on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the decision DJ Durkin makes here. I think you have to kick an onside kick, right? 2:55 left, 2 timeouts. I suppose you could kick it deep.
If you had 3 timeouts, your chances of kicking it deep are probably a lot.
Yeah, that's what gets me is the 2 timeouts. So I think they're going to attempt the onside kick. That is what I would do. And they're in that formation to do so, as they've got a cluster of guys along the far sideline.
This is Danny Sutton. Let's see how the Terps elect to play this year with 2:55 to go and 2 timeouts. He's going to kick it to the 21. It's juggled and caught, and then down is Jeff Smith, who was back there just kind of playing center field.
That's just egregious. What are you doing here? Either kick it deep, or try the onside kick. I don't understand why you would kick it.
But then he muffed it.
he almost muffed it, but why give him to the 30-yard line? I mean, on that thing, there's nobody else back there. I've seen big plays made that way. I don't understand the kick. And the coach doesn't either. I think there was a little miscommunication.
Hilliman. We're just a couple of yards to the 33. A few moments ago, here's DJ Durkin with Danny Sutton.
Trying to get an explanation. You kicked it right to the guy. I mean, there's a ton of space out there. What are you doing? Didn't understand it the first time. I bet he got it now.
I guess if you're going to do that, kick it away from the guy who's playing center field and just try to outrun the other guys.
Out there, and I don't mind pooching it a little bit.
You can't kick it right to the one guy that's back there.
That's, well, I'm sure. I'm not sure, but I'm hopeful that he wasn't intending to do that.
Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's coming up next. Lions, Cowboys tonight on Monday Night Football. So the Terps now by 6. Stop to the 36.
Use their last timeout.
So they use their last with 2:42 to go, and the third and about 5 coming up.
I'll call it 5.
Long 4.
You got to get to the 41. And if they do, you can put a fork in it, I believe. However, if they're short, Maryland's got a chance to come down. No timeouts left, but plenty of time on the clock with a 6-point deficit to overcome.
It wouldn't be game over with 2:42 to play, but it'd be pretty close if they convert a first down. Yeah.
So I almost put a fork in time, and that could still happen, but this is a big deal.
Milliman won't even get close. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
DJ Durkin on the sidelines. He wanted another timeout. Give me another one. Oh, whoop. No, I already used them. Never mind. Happy with the stop, and now you got yourself a 4th down. And Boston College is going to have to punt this football to Maryland.
Boston College can let this get all the way down to 1 and use one of their timeouts here.
Well, that's the intent.
And they indeed will use one of their timeouts. 1:57 to go.
And it.
Well, let's take a look at today's Capital One players of the game, and goes to that defensive line for the Eagles.
Yeah, you see the numbers there, the 6 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries. They've had 12 tackles, 8.5 for loss, 3 balls knocked down, a couple of forced fumbles. This defense has been awesome today for Boston College, in particular those guys up front. Kavalik, Goodapple, Merritt, Landry, Wyatt Ray. We talked about Ray Smith. Zach Allen's made plays. I mean, every one of these guys that have gotten in there have affected this ball game.
Now we give them the players of the game, but are very aware that this football game is not over.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that.
Can we change our mind yet? Don't give them anything yet.
Punt taken at the 25. Stepping out is Morgan at about the 35. Well, it's been a much better second half for the Maryland quarterback Perry Hills, and now he has a chance. A 1-score game with 1:48 left, but no timeouts to try to pull one out of the fire.
Yeah, he came out smoking and hit his first 4 passes of the second half, and a couple of for touchdowns. And Maryland put 14 points on the board in a hurry there. They're winning the second half 17-7, but they're down 6. No timeouts. Just a shade under 2 minutes left, and they got to get her done.
And they were down 16 at the half, 29-13. Batted in the air. That's been a common theme tonight. Well, now you know why we did give the players of the game to the D-line.
That was add another notch to somebody's belt here.
Kavalak.
Kavalak's been outstanding. See big 93 gets himself maneuvered in front of the quarterback so he can affect the throw, and gets the big old arm up and slaps it down. That's a dude right there.
Hills flushed out, chased by Landry and others, and he just throws it out of bounds. And it's going to be 3rd down.
They are getting after him, and coverage down the field is really what made that play for the BC defense. I know we've been talking glowingly of this defensive front, but those guys in the back end are giving those guys up front a chance to work.
Yeah, I don't want to say their secondaries made the Maryland receivers a non-factor, but the Maryland receivers have not been a big factor in this game today. Not a huge factor.
No.
Deflected again, and it's going to come down to one fourth down play. Zach Allen batted that one down. That's 6 straight incomplete passes now from Hills.
Watch the get off and the surge of this defensive line. They are coming to get it and try to. It's just amazing. That was Zach Allen getting that one. There's nobody prouder in this building than Paul Pasqualoni right now and his group.
Maryland has to pick up a first down or this game will be over. Hills.
Why not?
And only appropriate that it's going to end on a sack. Landry and Milano combined, and Boston College is going to pick up their first bowl win in 9 years.
And Milano, he was basically green dogging it. He had coverage. He came late, but it's Landry up top who just gets around the edge. He's working on the tight end, and that's they try to double him late, but that's not going to work. You cannot block Landry with a tight end. Not at this level. His second of the night, 17th of the season, 21.5 on his career.
The head-to-head battle between two head coaches that are very good friends off the field, Steve Addazio and DJ Durkin. I think in many ways, Ray, you look at Maryland, they turned the ball over 4 times today, really had rotten field position a lot of the game, yet here they were, maybe one more big play away at the end from winning the game.
Still had a chance. And to me, that speaks to the depth that they're starting to build and the fire in the way they play. They don't quit. They don't know any better. They get after it, and that's why I say this is the up-and-coming bowl here, the on-the-rise bowl between these two teams, 6-6 teams who struggled to get into this fray, but we're so glad to be here and played their hearts out today. I thought we had a great ball game.
Boston College will finish at 7-6, so that means in 3 of the 4 years for Steve Addazio's head coach, his team will finish 7-6. And big hugs on one side, on the other some disappointment at the Terps here that'll finish at 6-7.
For all the people that say bowl games are meaningless, tell that to these guys. Some of the bowl games are meaningless, I should say. I don't believe that. I think they're a great thing for these football programs, a great reward, and I love it that we got to watch these two go after it here this afternoon.
And Patrick Tolles, the graduate transfer from Kentucky, his 1 year at BC leads them to their first bowl win in 9 years. Handshakes between the head coaches.
A little kiss on the cheek. We'll see you next week.
Boston College wins the 2016 Quick Lane Bowl 36-30 over Maryland. Coming up next, Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's. And for live coverage for this game of our post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One, you can log on to ESPN3. For Alex Cordry and Ray Bentley, as well as our entire